All right. Thank you for joining me. Oh, man. I'm so glad to be here, to have this opportunity to be a light while I'm in this reality. Thank you for joining me. My name is Shaquab Ben Yisrael, and thank you again for giving giving me the opportunity to minister to you, especially you brethren who are faithists, meaning that you can subscribe to the OAHSPE Bible. And like I always do, let me acknowledge the angels of the daytime and the angels of the evening, found in this book right here, the Essene Gospel of Peace. Make sure I'm sharing. Looks like I am. Okay, good. All right. Now, today being Tuesday rising, that would be the earthly mother, actually, earthly mother, Tuesday rising, earthly mother. So let's acknowledge the earthly mother. Just take advantage of the opportunity just to say thanks for the things that is provided to us by what is described as the earthly mother. So we read, after these words have entered into your spirit on the first incoming or first rising after Sabbath, say these words. And that's talking about the words up here in the Essene Gospel of Peace, where you can read, and then it says, on the first rising after Sabbath, say these words. So we're going to say these words 3 times together on 3. Okay? 3 times together on 3. 1, 2, 3. The earthly mother and I are one. Again, 1, 2, 3. The earthly mother and I are one. Again, 1, 2, 3. The earthly mother and I are one. And then we read, her breath is my breath, her blood is my blood, her bone, her flesh, her bowels. Her eyes and ears are my bone, my flesh, my bowels, my eyes and ears. Never will I desert her, and always will she nourish and sustain my body. And you will feel the power of the earthly mother flowing through your body like the river when it is swollen, with rains and courses mightily with a great noise. And then this evening would be the angel of eternal life, where we can give thanks for the fact that there is eternal life. And we want to, especially those of you brethren who can receive it, knowing that we have the opportunity right now while we're in this reality to shape our eternal life. And we read it on the first evening after Sabbath, say these words. We're going to say these words 3 times together on 3. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Angel of eternal life, or 1, 2, 3. Angel of eternal life, descend upon me and give eternal life to my spirit. Again, 1, 2, 3. Angel of eternal life, descend upon me and give eternal life to my spirit. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Angel of eternal life, descend upon me and give eternal life to my spirit. And close your eyes, sons of light, and in sleep contemplate the oneness of all life everywhere. I tell you truly, in the daylight hours are our feet on the ground, and we have no wings with which to fly. But our spirits are not tied to the earth. And with the coming of the night, we overcome our attachment to the earth and join with that which is eternal. For the Son of Man is not all that he seems, and only with the eyes of the Spirit can we see those golden threads which link us with all life everywhere. So now I'm going to try to figure out how I want to share this. The link that the food ministry link, because of what I read the other day. Maybe some brother can correct me, but I read from the book of Judgment. I think it was chapter 8, and that really rocked my world, man. It really rocked my world. You know, I learned that when you talk about spirituality, you have got to, it should be a journey. It should be a journey. And hey, Dave, Elijah, peace be to you, brethren. Thanks for joining me, man. Good to see y'all. I hope I can say something that really, really bless y'all. So the reading is going to be great, man. You know, that's the thing. It's like There's so much food that the Creator is giving us right now. I mean, it's like a watershed moment with the OAHSPE Bible, the Radiance Anthology, and who knows how many other books are out there, man. But what we've got, the Third Testament, I mean, we've got enough really to last a lifetime. But what I got today, man, is really going to bless you, brethren. And that's why I like to do these videos, because I believe that the effect that the words I read have on me, it's got to have them on you too, man. You know, it's got to have the same effect on brethren who can receive these things. It feels good, man, I don't know how I can explain it, but the Creator is able to, he's able to make you happy, man. You know, even when I was in deception, I knew in my soul that there was a place that this wasn't the ultimate reality. And I knew that the Creator was able to bless my soul. And I finally came to it. I finally found it. Now, the Creator could drop something else and take us in another direction. All you can do is follow your heart, man. That's all you can do. You hear people saying that all the time. But now, how am I going to phrase this with the food ministry? Because I read in Judgment chapter 8, I think it was, that chapter was basically a chapter on how you should do charity, how you should do it. It was a bit of a shock, man, because it said, be wary of how you give. Don't just haphazardly give all your money away. What I read yesterday in that video, the Creator was saying, like, hey, you know, use wisdom in what you do. Use wisdom. It's good you want to give. All right, that's great. But do it the Creator's way, which means be wary of giving to people who are able to do for themselves. It actually says that. I couldn't believe it, man. It's like the Creator was saying, like, I was featuring that food ministry, that place where they feed the homeless. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that anymore, because I feel a conviction that the Creator's way, his way is right, man. That if you're going to be about charity, focus on charities that basically where it teaches brothers and sisters to do for yourself, man. Do for yourself. Don't just, the Creator, it's like he frowns on you just giving and giving and giving. And you know, Christianity make you feel good about the fact that you just keep giving, giving, giving. Creator says that's no good. If you're gonna, it says it's better to teach a person how to stay out of the situation they're in. Now, I have another ministry that I plan to start featuring, and as of right, the first thing that came to my mind was the United Negro College Fund. United Negro College Fund. I think that I'm going to start featuring them and other charities like them that apply to all people, all nationalities, not just United Negro College Fund. That's just what came to my mind first. But any institution where people get taught like a trade, a lifelong skill, something that they don't need to keep coming back and back. Yeah, that's what the Creator said. He says that's how he wants you to do it. Now, the type of charity that we're used to, where you just give and give and give, he says, focus on orphans and the helpless. He said, focus on the orphans, and the helpless. Focus on orphans and helpless, because people they get of age and they learn how to start. They learn how to take advantage of the system. That's not the kingdom of God at all. That is not the kingdom of God at all. I was talking to somebody the other day, and he said, "Yeah, man, this is how you do it." He said, this how you get over on the man, you know." And so I listened to him. You know, I count him as a friend. We seem to like each other. He said, "Yeah, man, the way you do it, see, get you 2 or 3 bank accounts, see, because here they only check like, you know, they want you to bring in like uh, a couple of statements. So what do you do? What you do? Get you a couple of bank accounts, and have the money go into there, but don't tell them about the third and the fourth bank account." And he was like, "Yeah, that's how I get over." And all I could do was shake my head, man, because I know that he's the type of guy, and for everyone, there's 300 million others, man, 300,000 others that think the same way. They think how they can get over, man, He's one of the type of guys. He's paying only a quarter of what he should pay. And that thought even tried to attack me until I got a rebuking from the Creator. Got a rebuking from the Creator. Don't try that with me. Don't think that I don't see what's going on. Don't try that with me. And but there are people like that. They constantly think, how I'm going to get over. How can I cheat this guy? How can I rig the system? You know what I mean? Self-seeking, self-serving, scheming. And when you trying to draw near to the Creator and you make contact with spirits like that, it makes you sick, man. It makes you feel, you get an odious type of feeling, man, dealing with people like that. I hate to say it, I sound vulgar, but that's not the kingdom of God at all, man. And then when you understand the first resurrection and you're under that type of spirit, you're all about scheming, all about getting over, and the joke's on you, and you don't find out until you end up going into your mortality, the end of your mortality. And then the Creator say, put them with the rest of them. Put them with the rest of them, Put them all together until they know better, till they learn better. Put them all together. Just don't bring them near my people, And you know what I'm getting ready to read? I think it says that for the reading that I'm going to do. And I'm going to get to it kind of early. I don't think that my sister has given me anything for the metaphysical word. So I'll be able to get to the reading kind of early, a little earlier. And I think I'm going to start doing, trying to share other metaphysical words, because it's really important. But it's a shame, man, that we in that type of situation where, and another thing that I learned is basically a little more about the kingdom. I posted something. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. Anyway, I still do have the Julianne Morlock Food Ministry, where I'm just going to try to focus on there are spirits who are orphans that do get help by the Julianne Morlock Food Ministry. There are orphans and there are helpless people. When I went to that facility, and I think I can still feature it. The St. Anthony's. I think I'm it's okay to still feature it. I think it's okay because I know for a fact that they help the helpless and orphans. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes, so I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad promoting this place here. Now I know that there are people who they take advantage of it, man. I mean, that's just human nature, you know. But I feel good knowing that I know that they help orphans and I know they help people who are helpless. So I don't mind at all featuring them, and I can't do anything about people who take advantage. They just rely on this and they become dependent on the charity of others, and the creator saying he don't really want you to do that. So anyway, here it is, St. Anthony's. You can donate here. You just go online. They make a way for you to donate, and also the Julianne Morlock Food Ministry, where I can be contacted if anybody knows of an orphan children and helpless brethren, and they are in need of food charity. I certainly am willing to help, because you know what? It feels good. Although I have to search myself as to how I want to go forward with food ministry, simply because of what the creator said. I'm not going to argue with the creator, man, you know. And reading what I read, that sounded kind of harsh to me. But the creator's right, man. It don't make no sense to give willy-nilly, and you may be giving. See, that's the thing, man. You got to think about people. They will take your giving, your charity, and they will turn right around and do drugs with it. And then the creator says, he actually says that lowers your spiritual grade. Did you know that? Oh, share tab. Yeah, Dave, right. Yeah, that old story. Teach somebody to fish. Yeah, give a boy a fish. He eat for a day, teach a boy to fish, and he will eat for a lifetime. Yeah, you know, that's the mind of the creator. That is the mind of the creator, man. You know, his kingdom, that's what the kingdom is going to be for us. We're going to teach people. You faith this? We're going to teach people, man, to stand up on their own, to be profitable to themselves and to other people. That's what my mom taught me. I really can say that's probably the biggest lesson that I learned from my mom. Learn to be responsible for yourself and also for somebody else. That's what I love about her. That's the lesson that I really got off of her osmosis wise. I mean, that's what came off of her to me. That's what her character was. Especially for a man. A man in her mind is someone who can take care of himself, be responsible for himself, and be responsible for another person, preferably two or three at least. You know, and that's the spirit of the kingdom of God, really. So here's my room, some things that I posted in the room, and check this one out. Check out what I posted the other day. It says, hi, Jamia, beautiful sister. Good to see ya. Good to see ya, Jamia. All right. Check out what I posted the other day. From the OAHSPE, it says, it is remarkable. It's a remarkable coincidence that as soon as the Brahmins begin to preach Brahma, instead of Ramajdi, which is another name for the creator, it says, as soon as the Brahmins begin to preach Brahma, instead of Ramajdi, the creator, they lost the signs and miracles of the ancients. See, that's another thing, too. People, they say, how come we don't see miracles? What happened to the miracles? What happened to the healings? What happened to the signs and wonders? Where did all that go? And then it says the same thing came to the Buddhists. The same thing came to the Buddhists. As soon as they began to preach Buddha, the signs and miracles left them. And the same thing happened to the Christians. As soon as they made an idol of Christ, signs and miracles left them. See that? It says the Roman Catholics have frequently pretended to have the signs, but it is only a pretense. It says manifestations like those at Lourdes, even if true, are only tricks and games of Druids, as the results show. Now, what happened at Lourdes? Anybody know what happened at Lourdes? Who knows what happened at Lourdes? Let's see what happened at Lourdes. Why does he mention it here? What happened at Lourdes? The OAHSPE says it was a fraud. What happened at Lourdes? It says the many manifestations of Mary. So the OAHSPE said it was a fraud. The OAHSPE say it's a fraud. The many manifestations of Lourdes. The OAHSPE says it was a fraud. Lady of Lourdes. Well, what happened? It said Bernadette Soubirous, now Saint Bernadette, was visited by the Virgin Mary next to a river in the French town of Lourdes. It said the visitations were in the form of a beautiful young woman appearing to Bernadette and took place 18 times through the year of 1858. At first, the young girl didn't appear to understand the significance of these visitations, but happily followed Our Lady's instructions that Bernadette was to go to the local priest, ask him to build a church at the site of the visitations, and invite people to drink from the water, which had miraculously sprung from Mary's feet. A church was built on the spot, with other more grand buildings following over time. Even though the apparition of Our Lady never stated that the water would heal, it appears that thousands of people have taken the water and have been miraculously healed with no other explanation than the intervention of something. Do you think Satan can give signs and wonders? It said the Catholic Church authorities confirmed the authenticity of the apparitions in 1862, and for millions of Catholics, this very spot in Lourdes has become a special place of pilgrimage, visited all year and by people hoping to be healed by the waters and have their own personal encounter with Lady. So you see there? See there? Isn't that something? Doggone it, I clicked off on what I wanted. What did I just do? How do I? Oh, okay. I was right here. See that? The OAHSPE says, it says the Roman Catholics have frequently pretended to have the signs, but it is only a pretense. Manifestations like those at Lourdes, it says, even if true, are only the tricks and games of Druids. Remember? Druids. So let me bring up the I should have the, let me see. Bring up the should always have the OAHSPE ready to go. Keep forgetting. All right, the Druids. Remember the Druids? The unenlightened, the apathetic, the Druids. Druhas. It says that the Druge, the miracles at Lourdes. The OAHSPE said it was the Druge that did that type of stuff. See, the Druge. It applies to an angel, the same as a druk to a mortal. Low, dark, evil, dangerous. Druk, a low mortal, one who desires no spiritual life, one who cannot understand spiritually. An evil man, a druk. These are, very painful words, but you can't argue with the creator, if that's how he's describing certain spirits. So you go back and the OAHSPE is saying that that's the deception that we're under. And it's saying that this so-called miracle, it never happened. It says, even if it were true, the miracles at Lourdes, it says, are only the tricks and games of Druhas, drugs, as the results show. And this was a footnote. So as soon as people begin to preach men, Brahmins, Buddha, then the miracles left. And that's been a great argument. How come, if Christianity is true, what happened to the miracle? People want to know. And the OAHSPE is telling you right here what happened to them. Because the creator was replaced by worship to men, worshiping idols, worshiping deities, and so the miracles left. And I perceive, and I think what I'm going to read is going to tell all of us brethren, they're coming back. And that's the way we're going to confirm our ministry. All that stuff is coming back, man. It's like since we went off, the creator, he withdrew his spirit of power, signs, and wonders. It's like he withdrew those gifts. And now we're in the cosmic age where I posted something else the other day, too. I think I posted that, too. Let me see if I can find it. Look what he says. Now, this part right here is, I think I posted something else talking about what I'm going to be doing during the reading. It goes along with what I was saying about the in the monologue. See, check it out. This right here is what I was referring to. Let me see, Dave. He's got something. Let's see, Dave. He says similar to the Fatima prophecies of Sister Lucia in Fatima, Portugal. I question the validity because it is Catholic. Yeah, yes. However, it is also possible the creator had a hand in it also. Not sure. I don't know enough about the Fatima prophecies, but man, I'm very leery. I'm very leery of things like this. But the way it works with me is, we just got finished reading about false miracles, manifestations. And I don't see any change. When it comes to things like testimonies like this, I find I really draw on what my spirit is telling me, what my soul is telling me. And I don't think that 100% that you can categorically deny that there are times when supernatural things happen. It makes a difference to me as to what the event was, but I know that they are very, very rare. I believe they're very, very rare. I think because the Creator, He knows, man, if a man, he gets hold of the ability to do a miracle, that guy is going to go straight to the bank. Going to go straight to the bank, man. You know, I think that context is important when you hear about these types of things, but I tend to fall on the side of unbelief. I think I'd rather fall on the side of unbelief because knowing the heart of man, and you look at like the prosperity gospel people. I mean, man's love of money, man, it's very scary. It's very, I don't even know how to describe it, man. I mean, I don't want to put people down, but it's just a shame. It's a shame that that's the way it is. So this right here, something else I posted in the room, basically about the way you give, who you should give to. Now there was something else too that I was just this right here talking about what faith is, brethren, what's going to happen to you. Talking about the I don't know what to call it, the power to come upon brethren for the purpose of raising our brethren up. That's the whole economy of the Creator, is using faithless sons and daughters to raise up brethren to be able to support themselves, to have faith enough to walk on their own. And we're going to get used to minister to our world for the sole purpose of raising up your brother. Raise them up, walk by faith, show him how to walk by faith, and for him to go down his road and then do that to somebody else. That's the kingdom of God right there. As simple as that, brother. I'm sorry if you're looking for explosions and, money from heaven falling 24/7, big free houses and mansions. And I'm sorry you think that's small. I'm sorry that you think so highly, as you think so lowly, as having $1 trillion. I'm sorry you're in such a low level of thinking. I'm sorry that you ask for so little, so far as what the Creator is capable of giving you. Why do we want crumbs, man? I don't want no crumbs. I don't want no crumbs. And the Creator says He's not going to give us any crumbs. But then again, you can't be a faith that's like, from what I see, for riches. You just can't have a desire. You're going to be a faith that's, you're going to do it for 40 years, all for the purpose of being a rich man or coming into some blessing. You can't do that. It's got to be genuine, man. You got to see the joy in a kingdom of men in their best possible, under the best possible blessing and vibration that they could be under. A whole world of spirits. And that's what the Creator said it's going to bring. So if that's not your cup of tea, then this channel probably ain't gonna be of any it probably ain't gonna be of any benefit to you. It probably won't benefit you much. Probably won't hold your attention much. So anyway, here's my room. Click on copy and paste the link, put it in the browser, and click on it. It'll bring you into the room. I'll let you in and hope that you can look at it as a way to be encouraged and to encourage other brethren and to raise your spiritual grade. I'm telling you what I read, Judgment chapter 8, man. Brethren, go read it. Go read it. It talks to you about elevating your grade, your spiritual grade. And really, it's really for information purposes. The Creator, his mind is like, he don't want you just trying to solely focus on elevating your grade. he don't really want you, he really don't want you to think that way primarily. He wanted to be genuine. Your desire to serve, to share the light. He really wants you to get a kick out of it, not for your own personal benefit. And that's where we live. We live in a reality where people won't do anything unless, I mean, the first thing they do is they always focus on the benefit, what's in it for them. That's where we live. I was reading the other day, I read yesterday about how it's not going to be good for anyone until it's good for everybody. That's it right there. That's all it is right there, man. It's not going to be good for anybody until it's good for everybody. That's the bottom. That's it right there. That's all there is, man. To the king, to the creator. That's all you need to know. I mean, of course, knowledge is good, but that's what he's all about. Everything I'm going to read, everything I'm going to talk about, I'm going to say the same thing. Same thing. I'm sorry. This is not a channel to get you, to talk about controversy, to give you a kick out of some event, to make you excited and, to give you a thrill. That's not the type of channel that this is. But if you got the ability to believe in the creator, man, and to really focus on the spiritual future for all of us to come, if you can, I'm telling you, man, it's like you'll leave the world. You'll leave the world. You will know no bounds so far as the blessing, the joy that you can come under. If you can only leave the world, that's what I've learned. That's what I have learned, man. If you can only leave the world, because the world is full of stimulus to bring you down, make you negative, make you mad, make you angry. So here are some of the more things. You can check it out, stop the video, check it out. And it's all for the purpose of trying to attract brethren. I'm trying to attract brethren, lively stone brethren especially, who like to share, who like to minister to other brethren, who like to redeem the time, who like to store up. That's all this room here on Facebook is all about. I get a kick on trying to find things to share with brethren. I love that, man. I don't try to look at it like I want my spiritual grade to go up. I just know it feels good to read things that feel good. And when you share it, it's even better. So check me out, the link, description area, if you want to come in. So now, let me see. I don't have a metaphysical word for you. So we can go ahead and go into the reading. Go into the reading. We're going to love the reading. That is for sure. Might as well go into the reading now. Might as well go into the reading. So let me see if I can find it. What am I reading? What am I going to do? What's the name of the video? Oh, no more time to talk. So that was like what? I think that was Book of Judgment, chapter 25, I think. Let me see. I got to look on the what is let's see. Is it chapter 8? Oh shoot. Oh, that's my video. I don't want that. Let's see. No, I don't want that. It's Book of Judgment, I think. Is it chapter 8? Let's see. Let me find out what I'm supposed to be reading. Let's see. Okay, I gotta check something out, brother. I forgot what I'm reading. Let's see. Book of Judgment, chapter 25. Okay. Book of Judgment, chapter 25. There you go. Sorry about that, brother. I clicked off and left the studio for a second. I had to get the book that I'm going to be reading from, and it's going to be Judgment, the Book of Judgment in the OAHSPE Bible, chapter 25. Chapter 25. I got to share it. Share the screen. See, I don't panic as much anymore when I get in trouble with the software. You get better. All right, this is it right here. So let me do it like this. All right, move this out of the way. I'm just trying to fix my screen so I could look at the chat and look at what I'm reading. Just bear with me. Move this out the way. Okay, I'm almost there. Almost home free. All right. Now, chapter 25. Oh, man, that's way up here somewhere. Book of Judgment, chapter 25. Book of Judgment, chapter 25. Oh, now. Way back, way back. Got to start using a page finder, like Daryl said. All right. Here we go. Book of Judgment, chapter 25. May the Heavenly Father bless the reading of his word. It's a real blessing right here. It says, God shows how and when the second resurrection manifests to mortals. Verse 1, it says, God said, in the cities and country places, I have innumerable lords, apportioned to districts and to mortals and angels within them. It kind of sounds like he's already set it up. He checks you brethren out. These are secret agents. They're invisible agents. It's like they're checking you out in preparation for us being sent out so that we can establish the kingdom on earth. It says, and my lords know the rates and grades of their people, knows their occupations, their aspirations, their labor and behavior, private and public. Verse 3, now behold, I've said to my lords, the era of dictation is past. That's why I titled the video, The Time of Talking is Past. The time of talking is up. It's up, done with. It says, verse 3, now behold, I have said to my lords, the era of dictation is past. No more time for talking, time for action now. It says, man has arrived at college. Declare the light of my heavens to man, but let man judge himself and labor to save himself, so that by this he may have honor and glory. How do you like that? Do you want honor and glory? The will of the Creator is for you to have honor and glory. Isn't that what the world, they go after in this world? You know, even to the point of selling their soul, you know, what you hear about a lot of in this reality. the things that people do, the rites and the ceremonies they go through, for a little bit of honor and glory. You probably have heard about secret societies. You know what goes on. You know that they do things with children. You already know that. I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna get vulgar. You already know. You see, that's what people will do for honor and glory. You know that? Verse 4 it says, and I further said to my lords, man has prayed, saying, your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. It says, now I give this to you, that where men abnegate self, you become selfless, you become a servant to your brethren. That's what it means to abnegate. If you have that type of mind, you got that type of spirit in you, you are truly home free, man. Truly. Let's look at that word real quick. Abnegate. What is the definition for abnegate? You renounce or reject something desired or valuable. You renounce or reject something desired or valuable. And a lot of times what you reject is your way, your will, your own interests, your own, you know, your own interests is the best, I guess, the best word. You deny yourself for others. It says, now I give this to you, that where men abnegate self and affiliate into a communal brotherhood. That's what's going on right here, right now. You brethren, you may not believe it. Right now in this room and in all our other rooms with our other brethren, we are a communal brotherhood. That's what's going on right here in this room and the other brethren. You know, we are a communal brotherhood. And check it out. He says, after the manner of my heavenly kingdoms, meaning the same thing here is up there. And it says, you shall then affiliate my organic angels with such mortals and make them one with my second resurrection. How do you like that? So here, as God said, okay, the creator is telling the God to say to us, he's saying, the creator is saying to the God, say this to them. And you shall surround, or he's telling the God, the creator is telling the God what to do, right? The creator is telling this God, this particular God, what to say to us right here, right now. So that's why when you read verse 4, it says, and I further said to my lords. So now the God is saying to the lords, those below the gods, it says, man has prayed, saying, your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Do you know that one of the rites and ceremonies of becoming a God in the spiritual is that you got to be able to listen to like 1,000 conversations at the same time? Did you know that? That's one of the rites and the spirits of ascending to Godhood. Where you start off with like 3 people, then you go up to like 10 people. That's one of the rites and ceremonies in order to be a God. All the way up to like, what is it? Like 2,000 people. You have to be able to listen to all of them and know what they are all talking about. That's what a God can do. You know, but I digress. It says, and I further said to my lords, man has prayed, or that could be what the qualification for a Lord. I forget now, if I'm not mistaken. That could be the qualification of a Lord. So you can imagine a God, what they have to be, what their gift is, what they have to, the rites and ceremonies they have to pass in order to be elevated to a God. I think it's talking about the Lords. They have to be on a certain level to hear like a multitude of people and be able to know what they're all talking about. But anyway, it says, and I further said to my Lords, man is prayed, saying, your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Now I give this to you, that where men abnegate self and affiliate into a communal brotherhood, after the manner of my heavenly kingdoms, you shall then, after the manner of my heavenly kingdoms, after the order, after the spirit, brethren who gather together under the same spiritual vibration that goes on in the heavens, basically to desire the Creator's will. Brethren who are under that same spirit, it says he's saying to the Lords, he says, gather them, in other words, affiliate my organic angels with mortals who are like that, who desire to gather together, like you brethren are doing right now. We are actually gathering together. Your desire is to gather together with our own kind. And here God is saying to the Lord, affiliate my organic angels with such mortals and make them one with my second resurrections. You see that? That's where we are going. That's when we cross over, we're going to our own kind who also, you ever hear that song? Remember that song? Do You Feel Like I Do? By Peter Frampton. Real big song. That's basically what the whole plan, what spirituality is. People gather together with people that feel like they do. From what I can see, that's what it is. We're going to be together. And the faithists, their affiliation is going to sweep the earth. Because there ain't no other way to prosper. Ain't no other way to prosper, man. We because of our thoughts and our minds and our actions, our desires. It's like the Creator said, okay, take them, my gods, my lords, our angels, been watching them. They like to get together. They like to hear my word. Go get them. Bring them all over here. Since that's what they want, you see. So let me see. It reads, let me see. Dave says, Stipenta Armage. Look at that. Ain't that a trip? Look at that. That was the angel, wasn't it? Was that an angel? That was a god, right? That was a god. Sapenta Armage is a god. Look at that. It read the whole earth from her place in Etheria before she came to earth in the dawn of Dan. Adana. Ain't that something? Listen to that. Look at that, man. You know what I'm saying? Here was a God that read the whole earth, man. Man, I'm dying to read that now. I'm dying to break off from this book and go there. Man, oh, ASAP. Wow. Sapenta read the whole earth. Wow, man. Verse 5, and you shall surround such communal brotherhoods with the light of my kingdoms, controlling the angelic intercourse with mortals, so that Druids and vampire spirits cannot molest them. How do you like that? Who likes that, man? How do you like that? You see that? So that Druids and vampire spirits cannot molest them. Who? Those who are gathered to the second resurrection. It's talking about faithists. It says, and that the second resurrection, it says, and you shall surround such communal brotherhoods with the light of my kingdoms, controlling the angelic intercourse with mortals. So that, look at that, Druids and vampire spirits cannot molest them. How do you like that? How do you like that, man? It says, and these brotherhoods shall be taught. Look at that. not to question the oracles on personal matters. Like, we shall be taught, it says, in these brotherhoods, talking about faith, this second resurrection, that's where we working together. See, we're a team. We're all on the same team, I used to play baseball, and in baseball, you got like different positions. You got, you got the pitcher, you got the catcher, you got the third baseman, shortstops, See, we all are all together. We're all on the same team. And we got a brother who specializes at third base. You got a brother who specializes at shortstop. See, that's what the second resurrection is. We're going to all be working for a common goal. Let me see. ASNAT says, Brother Iquab, I sent an email. Check it out. Okay. All right. Is it suitable for public consumption? Is it suitable for public consumption? Because I'm going to go to it right now, and the whole world will see what it is if I go to it. Do I have your permission to go to it right now? Will it do? It won't. They're not. I was going to say something, but that it's okay for me to go ahead and check it out right here on video, isn't it? You say, all right, Daryl, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. For I created progress to be in compact, nor did I give to any person individual salvation or resurrection. Wow, check that out. Check that out, man. See, we got to do it together. We got to do it together, man. No, it's no every man for himself in the second resurrection. First resurrection is faith. Second is communal affiliation. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. ASNAT, is it okay if I check it out now? The email? Is that okay? If you don't answer, then I'm going to just keep going. I figure it's something you maybe want me to read. Anybody, my channel is primarily for the purpose of you brethren talking to one another, getting to one, this channel is if you want to share anything or you want to take over the program, you have something you want to share, that's the purpose of this channel. I'm basically trying to get conversation going. Okay, so ASNAF, I guess I don't have permission to go and check out the email right now. So I'll check it out after the video, unless you give me permission, as if I perceive it's something that you might want me to read. Or so anyway, let's go back. It says verse 6, and these brotherhoods shall be taught to not question the spirits and oracles on personal matters, meaning our spiritual second resurrection. It ain't going to be about what is the next lottery number, personal matters. Well, can I go out with that sister? It's not going to be on personal matters. It's going to be, but for light and truth as to what will contribute to ameliorating Ameliorating, which means improving, mitigating, remedying, bettering, ameliorating the condition of man. See, when we're gathered with the second resurrection, it says, these brothers shall be taught not to question spirits and oracles on personal matters, like what is the next lottery number, the $1 trillion lottery number. We ain't going to be interested in that. It says, but we're going to want light, which it says is, we're going to want the understanding, which is, they call it light here, and truth as to what will contribute to the ameliorating, which is the improving of the condition of man, and as to light and truth regarding the higher and lower heavens, and as to attaining spiritual gifts and great wisdom. And then verse 7 it says, and these mortals shall have times and places for worshipful matters. And these times shall be in concert with my Lord of the district, and the light of his throne shall be given to such a brotherhood. Says verse 8, the members of such a brotherhood shall not desire a leader. Leader won't be like here, a tyranny, a dictatorship, a king. We ain't gonna want that. Remember Israel, give us the king like all the other nations. It says the members of such a brotherhood shall not desire a leader. Neither will any one of them desire to be a leader. How do you like that? Oh man, I love it. You don't have to worry about nobody trying to run things. Want to be up in front. Nobody's even going to desire it, man. So you ain't got to worry about somebody's agenda, Are they smarter than you? They want to take the lead, want to be up front, want to be seen. It says, for if one should so desire, he would not be of the Godhead, but of himself. But of himself. But of himself, man. That's too bad. Verse 9, it says, moreover, none of the members of such a brotherhood shall go off of his own accord. It shall not go. We're going to all be like a well-trained, disciplined army, man. Nobody breaking ranks, like it says in the Bible. It says, moreover, no one of the members of such a brotherhood shall go off of his own accord to minister as an individual to the inhabitants of Uzzians. Who are the Uzzians? Uzzians. Who are the Uzzians? Who is Uz? Who is Uz? Make this bigger. I gotta close the curtains, man. I can't hardly see the screen. Uzzians. Let's get the definition of Uzzians. Uzzians. Uz. I know you brethren know who they are, but there may be brethren who are new. Oh wow, this edition, it doesn't have Uz. This PDF doesn't have it. Okay, well, too bad. Uz are the unenlightened, without faith. It says, but each and all in the brotherhood. Let me read it again. It says, moreover, none of the members of such brotherhood shall go off of his own accord to minister as an individual to the inhabitants of Uz. But each and all in the brotherhood shall concentrate their profits and force to one focus and objective. We are all going to be like-minded. We're not going to seek our own glory and honor and fame and fortune. You got to love it, man. Just like who was it? Was it the Berea in the Bible where it must have been the Essenes where they had all things in common, man. They were a communal group of people. It's like, hey, Yanquavi, can I use your van? Man, absolutely, man. And then I come over. I say, do you got an extra pot of lentil beans? Because we're not vegans. I mean, we are vegans, Brother, do you have an extra, do you have an extra apple in the refrigerator that I could use? A community of brethren. A community of brethren. And then verse 10, it says, my organic heavens are also like this. All the members of each heaven being as a unit with the whole. They do not waste their strength and time in isolated endeavors. And then, let me see, Dave, he says, Uzzians Oh, okay, yeah, the world's people, Faithists and Uzians. There are Faithists and there are Uzians. And then Elijah says the creator, he always has put a line, yeah, between thoughts that's coming to him and thoughts that aren't. That's an interesting way of putting it, ain't it? That's a really interesting way of putting it. I like that. Yeah, he puts a he draws the line, and there's certain words, there's certain vibrations that cannot reach him. Certain prayers, certain thoughts cannot reach him. You know, it kind of reminds me of that Bible verse where it says, "God heareth not the prayers of his sinner." Verse 11, it says, "So if a prophet foolishly boasts to you as to having some high raised angel with a loud sounding name as to his special guardian and guide," he said, "you will know that that prophet is in the hands of Druhas." He's in the hand of Druhas. Druhas. He's in the hand of Druhas. He's in the hand of Druhas. An angel, the same as a draw, to a mortal, low, dark, evil, dangerous. He's in the hand of Druhas. In the hands of Druhas, who have not entered my heavenly kingdoms. They have not entered my heavenly kingdoms. It says, nor has it ever happened on the earth with any individual man raised up by me or my lords for a specific work, like Moses, Ku, Sakea, or any other that they knew of or boasted of any special angel over them. But all of them experienced the light, which was the pillar of fire. I got to close my curtains. So I can't see the screen. Okay, a little better. It says, verse 13, even such as is the manifestation of the second resurrection through my Lord and his holy counsel. So it's telling you a little summary of the second resurrection. It's totally self-abnegating brethren. Brethren who their interest is in their brethren. Serving their brethren, serving not serving themselves. Verse 13, he says, even such is the manifestation of the second resurrection through my Lord and his holy counsel. It says, and the manifestations are not like those of a mere magician, but the accomplishment of something that embraces nations, empires, and mighty peoples. So talking about Faithists. Talking about Faithists and the really what sounds like the return of the Spirit. And you know, they call miracles in the, I believe, third resurrection, the Ethereum realm, they call it normal. You know, ain't no such thing as miracles in the Ethereum. In the third resurrection, I think, the higher resurrections, you know, all of a sudden just make a loaf of bread pop up in their hand, you know, they hungry, you know, and they just manifest a banana, you know, right there in their hand. In the Ethereum realm, the high spiritual realm, there ain't no such thing as a miracle. How do you like that? How do you like that, man? You know? It says, verse 15, for this reason, O man, I declare to you that the Father's kingdom is now being founded on earth, and the mortal manifestation of it is near at hand. You know what that mortal manifestation, matter of fact, here's a footnote over here. It says, it is remarkable that for Ethereum chiefs overseeing planets, a day and a half cycle, that's a time of high light, which is a few thousand years, can seem like only a year for them. Similarly, for gods and goddesses who are thousands upon thousands of years old. A few hundred years can seem near at hand. Brevity of time. When we think that it's a long time, but it's not. It says, verse 16, but it shall come in this era as in the past through any one great leader forth. But it shall not come in this era, talking about the, he got me. He got me. He got me. Oh, I hate that, man. Oh, oh man. Please, somebody kick me, man. All right, let me go back to verse 15. It says, for this reason, oh man, I declare to you that the Father's kingdom is now being founded on earth, and the mortal manifestation of it is near at hand. Verse 16. But it shall not come in this era as in the past, though any one great leader through, let me read it again. It says, but it shall not come in this era. Talking about this footnote over here, but it shall not come. Well, let's talk about the brevity of time. Brevity of time. I just read that. So it says, but it shall not come in this era as in the past, through any one great leader for it, but it shall appear as a spontaneous light permeating the soul of thousands, and they shall come forth establishing Jehovah in truth and self-fullness. You hear that? Look at that, man. He said the Father's kingdom, and I'm gonna just I'm gonna put it in other words. It says the Father's kingdom shall not come in this era as in the past, through any one great leader forth. It says, but it shall appear as a spontaneous light permeating the soul of thousands, and they shall come forth establishing Jehovah in truth and fullness. You know that's talking about us? Do you know that's talking about Faithus? He says, all of a sudden, he says, but it shall appear as a spontaneous light. What is the it? Correct me if I'm wrong. That sounds like the mortal manifestation of it. What is it? The Father's kingdom. The mortal manifestation of it is near at hand. And then when you read the footnote over here, it's basically saying like, well, from a spiritual perspective, it would seem like a long time to us. It would seem like a long time to us, but it's not. Verse 16, but it shall not come in this era as in the past, through any one great leader forth. In other words, it's like you look at the world and they have like an opposite viewpoint. You know, they talk about the Antichrist and the whole, so now you got the whole world look for Antichrist. You got the whole world look for Antichrist, but the creator, the OAHSPE, is saying that us, are going to get hit all of a sudden. See? We are going to get hit all of a sudden. Thousands of us are going to get hit all of a sudden. Look at this. As a spontaneous light permeating the soul of thousands. Now, what do you think that's saying? I mean, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. What do you think that's saying? It says, and they shall come forth, establishing Jehovah in truth and fullness. It says, verse 17, now therefore, O man, consider the judgment of your God against all those who are called the best of men, the wisest of men, the greatest of kings, queens, or popes. For none of these have even passed the first resurrection in their own practice. How do you like that, man? You want to put that in your own words? It's counting Faithus, brethren, above the greatest of kings, queens, or popes. It says they haven't even passed the first resurrection. You know what the first resurrection is? Faith. 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 Correct me if I'm wrong, man. It says that the kings, queens, and popes, how can that be possible, man? How is that possible? Because he seems to be saying they're selfish, that they seek their own glory, that they haven't even come to faith. And then the creator is saying that you're greater than all you're man, this is even hard to reading this stuff. He says that there's no comparison between the best of men and faithless. He says there ain't no comparison. How is that possible? I mean, you know it is. You know what I mean? Wow, man, you're killing me. You're killing me. Chapter 26, the judgment. God judges the aesthetic. The aesthetic. People who want to live not just for themselves. Verse 1, it says, God said, there are those who shut themselves up in colleges, cloisters, and others who retire to the forest. Look, cloisters or forests. Look at covenants, nunneries, monasteries, ashrams, hermitages. These are people who, monks. They go live off. They live in the woods somewhere. They live underground. They totally dedicate themselves to holiness, what they call holiness. But wait until you, brethren, read. Wait till you see what I'm getting ready to read. What the Creator, what He say about them. I mean, it's pretty brutal. Check it out. It says, verse 2, and they allot certain ones as leaders and overseers, making themselves inquisitors over one another, in the hope of purifying their thoughts and aspirations, constantly trapping one another for shortness, meaning they fall short in what they profess to believe. It says, and then submitting to petty punishment and inflictions, hoping by this to check evil thoughts, words, and actions. And it's like cults. It's like a cult. I've been in a cult where they, under the guise of righteousness, holiness, they make it hard on themselves and you too. And then the effect that it has on you is you think, man, these people must be righteous, man. Because look here, they said that if I do a sin, they're going to charge me 30% over and above on my tithe. Now, man, that's pretty radical. So they must be right. They said if I have this one thought, then I got to turn over, instead of a single tithe, I got to turn over 50% more. Man, these people must be righteous, man. And, they do things for window dressing. It says, I'm going to read it again, verse 2. These types of people, you know them as, over here in the footnote, you know them as convents, where the nuns go, nunneries, monasteries, See, let's look at it real quick. Monastery. What is a monastery? Where you separate yourself from everybody. It's a building or buildings occupied by a community of monks living under religious vows. See? And then you know what the Creator says? That ain't nothing but a bunch of hogwash. You know that? Do you know the Creator said, hey, that ain't nothing but a bunch of hogwash, man. That ain't nothing but a bunch of hogwash. They deceived themselves. It says, devoting their lives to prayers, confessions, rites, and ceremonies, being most systematic and routine and then being shut away from the Uzians. Like Dave said, yeah, the world's people. The world's people. Verse 2, and they allot certain ones as leaders and overseers, making themselves inquisitors over one another in the hope of purifying their thoughts and aspirations, constantly trapping one another for shortness, You know, what did you say? Don't you know that's against our rules? I heard you say it. You just said something. See, trapping one another for shortness and then submitting to petty punishment. Oh, no, brother, I heard you. No, brother. You know what that means, don't you? You got to walk across these hot coals now. Because of what you said. Because you fell short. No, brother, you got to lay down on this broken glass now. Because of what you said. And you know I heard it. And then submitting to petty punishment and inflictions. Hoping by this to check evil thoughts, words, and actions. Wow, man. Wow. Verse 3, judgment is rendered against all such people, whether they are mortals or angels. Look at that. Earthbound or spirit-born. Earthbound or spirit-born. It says, verse 4, for these are the methods of the imprisonment of mind. All such mortals are preparing themselves for the bondage of Juras on their entrance into the spirit world. Will you look at that? Will you look at that? Let me see. Asenat says, Brother David, you have to tax him. Look at that sister, man. She wants Brother Dave to inflict the tax on me when I forget to change the tabs. That's cold-blooded, man. Oh, man, come on. It says, yes, even in that same college, they shall be immured. What does immured mean? It says enclosed. Immured means enclosed, enveloped, shut up within, encysted, hemmed in. Wow. Listen to all this, man. It says, yes, even in that same college, the monasteries, the nunneries, the convents, they shall be immured, which means they shall be enclosed, enveloped. They shall be shut up within. It's a show of humility, like the Bible says, being hard on the flesh. When you're hard on flesh, and other people, they say, man, look how hard he is on the flesh. Look at his discipline. People take it overboard. They think that are like those. Who are those people who they whip themselves? They flog themselves. There's the group of people. Matter of fact, you want me to prove it? Here, watch. Check this out. Let me see. Now check this out. During every holiday, flogged themselves with whips. Self-discipline, mortification. Here it is. Look, check this out. Now, wait a minute. It says Christianity. That's not what I'm looking for. You brethren have seen it, man. You've seen it where they whip themselves, man. They have whips and they whip their own backs. Let me see. Hey, Gaya. Good to see you, Gaya. He says, she says, oh, you talking about those Spanish Christians that crucified themselves? No, I I never even heard of that. I wasn't talking about them. These are like Muslims that whip themselves. What? Well, let's look at this. It says, "What monks whip themselves?" Flagellants. They whip themselves. They whip themselves in order to more closely share in the sufferings of Christ. They whipped themselves, who was himself flogged by the Roman soldiers for the crucifixion. The emphasis was on personal redemption. The emphasis was on personal redemption through identification with Christ. You see how men can scare you? They can scare the hell out of you, man, by the things that their mind tell them to do. And it's effective. It can even jump off on you if you're ignorant. You know, I remember being a part of a cult, man. The Church of Christ, the Boston movement. And every Sunday, man, they would make a brother get up there and tell the juiciest, most darkest deeds of his life. And it would be about like 2,000, 3,000 people there in the audience. And they call that holiness. Brother, get up there and just spill the beans every old kind of way, man. You know? That's enough to make a brother or sister regret it to the point they jump off a cliff. I'm telling you, man, men can be, oh man, help us. May the Creator help us, man. He don't even require you to be doing stuff like that. I can't find the group of people who I was looking for. The Creator, he don't require that, man. You know? Why do we think that way? That you got to beat the hell out of somebody to make them righteous. Why do we do stuff like that, man? You know? Oh my goodness, man. Jehovah, please help us. Please, please help us. I'll read it again. Verse 5. Yes, even in that same college, they shall be immured after death by thousands of Druhas. Talking about, don't think because you leave here that you automatically get broken from that spirit. They afflict themselves in a hope of purifying their thoughts and aspirations, constantly trapping one another for shortness, and then submitting to petty punishment and afflictions, hoping by this to check evil thoughts, words, and actions. It says, judgment is rendered against all such people, whether they are mortals or angels. For these are the methods of the imprisonment of the mind. This Creator, he calls all that imprisonment of the mind. Imprisonment of the mind. It says, all such mortals are preparing themselves for the bondage of Druhas on their entrance into the spirit world. In other words, you crossed over, you were a monk, right? All you did was you stayed in a cave and you ate a bunch of, what's a good word for something that you don't want to eat? You ate a bunch of liver all your life, man. You just ate liver. You lived in a cage, and you just spent all your time praying, right? And the Creator says you just set yourself up and you whipped yourself. You kept whipping yourself every time you had a bad thought. Then you pulled out that whip and you went to town on your own behind, right? And the Creator said all you're doing is setting yourself up for you to be an easy dupe when you leave your mortality. That demon, that Druge is going to come up, that Spirit is going to say, hey, 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 who's your God? I'm a monk. What monastery did you stay in? The Asian one over there by Indonesia? Why, you little, come here. Whip yourself. No, harder. Why, you little. Now, I'm just trying to make a point, man. You know, it says all such mortals are preparing themselves for the bondage of Druids on their entrance into the spirit world by doing these things. Shows of self-deprecation, injuring yourself, thinking that it's the will of the Creator, that it's going to make you righteous. And I'm telling, oh man, there's a word for it. There's an even better word for it. I don't know what it is. But it says, verse 5, oh, what a shame, man. Why do we do that to ourselves? Why is that? Why do we think that the Creator wants so much pain out of us? My goodness, man. Yeah, Muslims do the same thing, flagellation. Flagellation. It says, yes, even in that same college, they shall be closed in and closed. People who do that type of stuff, enclosed, enveloped, shut up within, they shall be closed in after death by thousands of Druids who inhabit the place, who profess to have some scheme of projected salvation. And that's something. There you are. You crossed over. Hey, 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 hey. You want to make it to Nirvana? Here. Come here. Here. Serve in my field, worshiping me day and night with no pay for 100 years. And then after that, you're going to enter into heaven. And then a monk is going to say, that's a deal. That sounds good. What a terrible shame. He said, verse 6, all such people are the manifestation of darkness instead of light. How do you like that? It says Jehovah created man with the capacity for developing talent to do good to others, man, to do good. Wow, man, we all got talent to do good to others. Gaia says, I call it spiritual masochism. I think masochism, I don't know if that fits because that has to do with dominating others. I don't know. I mean, you know, I just what I think, you know. It's more like spiritual to me insanity. That's a form of insanity, man. If you have, you know, you afflict yourself. Don't even nature teach you that we avoid that? I mean, even when you believe, man, there's a degree of affliction in that because you're learning to overcome yourself. But it's different than afflicting physically, causing your blood to be shed. And I mean, I don't want to sound like that never happens to even a faithist. I mean, but it's not the will of the Creator, man. You know, that you do things to yourself that, you know what I mean? I mean, hi, you know what I mean. It says, verse 7, now behold, these aesthetics, they're called aesthetics. See, the Creator said, I developed, Jehovah created man with the capacity for developing talent to do good to others. To do good, man. You know, like I was saying in the other video, we each have a sign that we're born under. We have a zodiac sign that we're born under. All it's really saying is you got a way of putting a flavor on reality that nobody else has for their blessing. You can do it either verbally or you can do it through you can do it non-verbally, but we all can do it to the blessing of somebody else. Oh shoot, he almost got me. But I beat him to it. I changed it. I changed the screen just in time. I did it. He almost got me. No, I beat you to it, brother. Nope, I beat you to it. I beat you, brethren, in the chat. You seen that, right? I beat I beat him to it. I beat him to it by a couple of seconds. See, he tried to tax me. See there? I beat him to it though. And y'all are my witnesses. I changed the screen just in time. It says, verse 7. Now behold, these aesthetics, people who they just go overboard doing things that are really not required, and they call it spiritual. It says, now behold, these aesthetics. Let's see what the word really means. Let's see what the word really. No, I beat you, brother. I beat you. He's trying hard to get that 2 cents. No, I won, brother. I won. I beat you there. Okay. I'm going to beat you here too. See? I changed it. A person, aesthetic, a person who practices severe self-discipline and abstention. An aesthetic, a person who practices severe discipline and abstention. Okay. A person who practices severe aesthetics or discipline. It said, now behold, these aesthetics labor for themselves. Check it out. What is saying about monks and nuns and people who do stuff like that? Look what it's saying about them. It says, now behold, these aesthetics, they labor for themselves. Look at it. They call it these foolish proceedings. They do not do things in order to ameliorate the condition of their neighbors, nor have they shown in a single instance where a benefit resulted due to the state and consequence of their practices. They can't prove it does any good, and it don't do nobody else any good. It says they do not do these things in order to ameliorate. Remember, ameliorate means to make the condition of man better. What they do, it don't make nobody's condition any better, meaning their neighbors. It says, nor have they shown in a single instance where a benefit resulted to the state in consequence of their practices. So you did all that for nothing, man. You was the monk for 50 years, man. And you just thought that you were right at the right hand of the Creator because you did all that. That's self-denial. Now, the self-denial part, that's biblical. We're supposed to have that for the purpose of serving our brother. But you did it for really your own self. And now, after your 50 years, you know what, brother? It hasn't benefited you a lick of good all those 50 years, man. You did it all for nothing. Matter of fact, your grade, your spiritual grade, it went down. It says, verse 8, they call their initiation sacred. But I declare to you, they are a blasphemy against Jehovah. They are like a snare for the imprisonment of the mind and the soul, restricting your mind and your soul. Restricting your mind and your soul. My goodness, man. My goodness. My goodness, man. It says, and after death, these people are prevented by their Druidian masters from entering heavenly places of resurrection, becoming instead slaves in the spirit world to pursue any calling and practice that may be put upon them. You, Mom, here, come here. Go cut that grass. I know it's the size of Texas. You better get it done before midnight. I know it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but you still better get it done. You're my slave. Wow, man. Verse 10, where the same rule holds on earth in heaven regarding the bondage of the mind. The bondage of the mind. It says, if by imposing rites and ceremonies and by the stratagems and cunning of mortal priests, they can be captured on earth, so can they also be retained in bondage in heaven. Isn't that something, man? Jim Jones, People's Temple, all those people. OAHSPE is saying he can do the same thing in heaven. He can do the same thing. He can deceive. It says, verse 11, and it happens with them that even as they honestly believe they are right on earth, so in heaven they will persist in believing they are right, even willingly submitting to cruelty and to torture. Look at this. In order to prove their fidelity. Verse 12, it says, be considerate, O man, of the words of your God. He who created you gave to you one star of light, by which you may determine truth and wisdom. It says, verse 13, whatever doctrine shows self as the chief consideration, even if it is for obtaining wisdom or supposed purity for self's sake, is not of Jehovah. In other words, brother, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, and we don't allow nobody else in our number. See? Because we're right, brother, and we're the only ones. See, he says, whatever doctrine shows self as the chief consideration, brother, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. No, ain't nobody else allowed in. He only know us. You say you only ever know, brother. No, you got to get with us, man. You got anybody in your family who's a Negro? Oh, you all good, brother. You all free, man. Yeah, just join with us. Don't let nobody else in. See, whatever doctrine shows self as the chief consideration. It says, even if it is for obtaining wisdom or supposed purity for self's sake, is not of Jehovah. See there? Any fraction, any shred of self-promotion, it is not of Jehovah. It says, verse 14, and yet the aborigine who rose foolishly in the forest stands higher before your God. Even the aborigine who rose foolishly in the forest, a man who we think ain't got no sense. He says that even him, he stands higher before your God than the nun or the ascetic does, whom the world says, man, these people are super holy and righteous. It says, for though the former lives for self only, yet he is not bound in spirit, man, the aborigine. Even though he's a hunter-gatherer, man, as long as you're not bound in your spirit, man, as long as you're not bound in your spirit, and that's religion. That is religion. Religios, the meaning of religios. It says, verse 15, in all things you shall weigh the object and the end aimed at, and the final result. And where self stands as a part or whole consideration, you shall know the matter is not of Jehovah. Look at that. But of Satan. See? It says, verse 16, it is not sufficient for the apologists of Satan to say, oh, we dwell in colleges, cloisters, in order to pray for Uzians. So I'm qualified to pray for you, brother, because I graduated from this real high college. See, I went to theological school. So you should, let me go ahead and pray for you. See? Verse 17, but you shall weigh their prayers also, and you shall estimate their value by what is accomplished. And you shall prove whether their prayer provided harvests of wheat and corn, and food, clothing for the poor, and education for the unlearned, or any other thing that was good. So you got all these people always talking about, brother, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. A year later, you see him again. Brother, I prayed for you. Did you get better? Hell no. Matter of fact, I got worse right after you prayed for me. Verse 18, do not be put off by the cunning of Satan's words in the mouths of priests or popes, but look matters in the face and be a God yourself in discerning things that ameliorate the condition of man. Meaning, judge for yourself what's good, right for man. Judge for yourself, man. You know, empirically make, and you look, you know, decide based on empiricism, evidence, you know, and that will conclude the reading of the word. And I hope that I'm still here. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, I think that something went wrong. Amazing. All right. I don't think I'm broadcasting. I think I did something wrong. Is anyone still in the room? Oh, wow. That's terrible. I think that I'm having a problem of some sort. Oh, I think I'm having some sort of problem. I think that something happened to my screen. So, wow, brethren. Oh, you still here, Gab? It shows that I'm not even. I don't know. It's saying that there was some problem. Well, that's all right. I'm at the end of the video anyway, brethren. If you can hear me, thank you for joining me. I'll wait a minute in case I am still broadcasting. If somebody wants to come on, I didn't put the link in the room. I've got to put the link in. I forgot to put the link in the room. I beat you to the link, Dave. I beat you to the link. Okay, I'm still live. I don't know what's going on. Oh, my brother. I didn't even see my brother came in. All right, man. I didn't even know my brother came in. Yep. Hey, Dave, you're a little slow tonight, man. I beat you on sharing the tab, and I beat you on sharing the link. So far, I'm up 2-0. I'm up 2-0 on you, brother. You're getting a little slow, man. Oh, man, that was fun, man. That reading. Wow, man, that was some fun reading. Oh, you have been, bro? Okay, good. Glad. I hope that you were blessed. Uh-oh, I'm gonna get chewed out. The brother's gonna chew me out, man. I think I'm gonna go ahead and close video right now. Hey, Heavenly Father, go ahead, brother. Thank you.
Hey there, brother. Yeah. I'm going to give you a tenth of a second on those two catches.
I beat you, brother. I beat you this time. I beat you. You didn't get me.
Good well, like I said, I'll give you a tenth of a second.
Hey, did you like that part about how it said that we were going to spontaneously? We were going to. It's like we were going to be visited spontaneously with the. I guess it was the Spirit to go and minister. Did you hear that part?
Yeah.
How, or actually, I posted it in the room, and it seemed to say that all of a sudden we were going to be, just like it says in the Bible, we shall be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. Where in Corinthians it talks about, and the dead shall rise first, and then those that are alive and remain will be caught up. He says in the resurrection, or what the church and world calls the rapture, I think. But I'm looking at it like we shall be changed. And it seemed like that's what we read tonight, where brethren who are prepared are going to be changed to be able to go out and minister in a spiritual and a miracle type of way. That's what I got out of it. What do you think?
Well, I'm not quite sure on that, but I know the vibrations are definitely increasing.
Mm-hmm.
And when Faith speaks, it seems to come right from the throne of the God who's sitting there, the true God, not the false gods,
Yeah.
true God. Because I watched Brother Daryl's video. I think it was yesterday about the demons that Yahuwah or JH, the Most High guy, is supposed to, how he kills people and all that. And that was in a response to a fella. Well, his name is Benny Brand, but I call him Ninny Brand. Because that guy, he went after Brother Daryl Cosman and called him a demon or something.
Hmm.
It's a very good video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't mean to.
I believe it was on Jehovah Chronicles yesterday.
Okay. I don't mean to
I
infer
didn't put a link up to it because I didn't want to scare people.
that. Yeah,
But if
if you,
Brother Daryl's there, he can tell you about it because I know he was in there in the chat a while back.
hey Daryl, why don't you come in? If you hear, hey, yeah, earlier, I don't mean to infer that we disappear. I don't mean to infer that when I talk about some sort of change. What I mean is that we, from what I read, when it talked about like what I put in the room, and we talked about how it sounded like, let me put in another word, like our vibration will change in the sense that while we're still in the body, but we'll be able to minister on a more spiritual level. That's what that's what I understood. That's what I understood what I read earlier when it talked about thousands of brethren are going to be visited with this energy at the same time. Not rapture where you leave and but the event, it would be a sudden event. Let me see. Let me show you again. Let me go to uh, the post that I'm referring to. Let me share the screen. Hold on a second. Got to share the screen. All right. Now, let's see. Oh, 1 second. Okay, here we go. Let me pull this down so I can see. Pull this down so I can see both screens. All right, now. All right, let me find it. Right here. It says, for this reason, now this was in the book of judgment. Let me move my screens over a little bit so I can see clearer. Now, it says, for this reason, O man, I declare to you that the Father's kingdom is now being founded on earth, and the mortal manifestation of it is near at hand. But it shall not come in this era as in the past, through any one great leader forth, like Zarathustra, like Paul, like Brahma, like Buddha, if Buddha is one. In other words, saying it's not going to be like that. It's saying, but it shall appear as a spontaneous light, meaning the mortal manifestation of the kingdom of God, of the Father's kingdom, it shall appear as a spontaneous light, permeating the souls of thousands, and they shall come forth, establishing Jehovah in truth and fullness. See what I mean? That it seems to say, like it says in the Bible, we shall be changed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. Now, I'm ascribing that to our being while we're here on the earth to bring the kingdom of Jehovah on earth. Does that make any sense?
Oh, yeah. In fact, that's what's happening right now. Look at all the look at our brothers, the four horsemen. Brother Sela, Brother Daryl Cosmon, Brother Cosmon Cal, Brother Malachi Maccabee. We're always on these platforms talking about OAHSPE. Those that'll listen, got ears to hear, they check us out. Those that don't, are kind of like Ninny Brand there, say we're this, that, the other, or whatever. But I don't pay no attention to them guys.
Right, right. Now, where do they get this four horsemen from? What is that all about?
Well, I don't know exactly how it came about, but they do the videos, and they're the ones that, I mean, when they put documentation together, they put it together. It's right out of a OAHSPE. It's succinct, and they even use the Bible against itself. You see, proving that the points they make. Now, whether or not it's in a debate or just a discussion, we come with receipts, as Brother Malachi would say.
I see. All right.
And
well,
Brother Sela, he'd been doing this for years. I think about 2009, 2011.
I mean, the problem that I have with that is when men separate themselves, because there are sisters who do videos that are just as powerful.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I mean? And
like I say, and not just the brothers. I put up a link where Sister Samisha went on live with, I think it was Sonetta.
Yeah, I looked at that. I thought it was pretty good, but I'm against this separating. We're above everybody else type of thing. I don't like that.
I don't think we're above.
Yeah, but I do. And that's the problem right there, because I'm very sensitive to brethren elevating themselves over somebody else. Now, I'm not against the brothers, but I am very sensitive to brethren giving themselves titles, exalting themselves over anybody else. Now, that's just me. And I think that one of the easy I just don't like that. Me personally, when a brother makes himself separated from the rest of the brethren, I don't like that. Now, I pray the Creator, it's something I need to repent of, that He'll show me, but and I support these brethren. I support them, but that's just something that I don't think brethren should be doing. Shouldn't be separating yourself like that. Like we're above, we're exalting ourselves above other brethren. But hey, man, that's that's between them and but that's how I feel about that.
Well, I'll beg to differ with you, brother, there, because I don't think they're exalting themselves. I think they're getting OAHSPE out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, that's how I
And
look at it.
come to think of it, a thought just hit me. The probably that four horsemen thing is kind of referring to that biblical thing about the four horsemen of the apocalypse, or whatever they call it in Revelation.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty
I
sure
think
that's
they're not being equated with that, but it's kind of like a different type of apocalypse.
uh-huh.
You
Well,
see?
it could be. I mean, I'm sure that they, they don't mean any harm, but
Well, I'm thinking I'm thinking that that's what some of these Abrahamic religions can relate to.
well, in the sense that they give themselves names that separate them from their brethren, and I just don't agree with it. You know,
Uh,
I don't agree with any type of labeling that separates brethren as some are above and some are below. I learned I'm sensitive to that because I came out of the Hebrew Israelites, and
yeah.
one of the things that I immediately repented of is because um, they really they really base their whole identity on the fact that I'm better than you, or not the fact, but they base their whole identity on being superior to
Hmm.
everybody else, and that's when I ended up when I came into the Third Testament and I got woken up to that. I despised it, and it almost made me want to hate them, brethren, because words can kill. And so it just made me sensitive. If you listen to my other videos for a long time, I'm sensitive to brethren placing themselves. If they're not doing it, good, great. But I'm a brother I have my own mind, how I think about things. And it's something I'm sensitive to any type of self glorification. And, that's just the way I feel about it. I'm not saying I'm not coming down on these brethren. I think I do things that I'm sure other brethren don't like. But I'm just being honest. I could have held my peace, but I'm just being honest with maybe, hopefully, you know, they that other brethren may see that self glorification is something to be avoided, and that's how I see it. So I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I listen to them, brother. You know. So anyway, we just have to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. We'll do
no
that.
harm, no harm, no foul.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what about? But I didn't get your answer. Or no, wait a minute. You said you agree with that part about what I have on the screen about
Yeah.
the spontaneous light permeating the soul of thousands, and they shall come forth to establishing Jehovah's truth. Because really, that's happening right now. I love the way that's really happening right now. And I know that you don't place the same emphasis on geopolitical events that I do, but to me, it helps me to know, that even by the time I get finished doing this video, that we could be involved in a World War III, right? Do
Oh
you
yeah.
know that we could be, because Israel is deciding they've come up with a plan to start bombing to repay Iran. And Iran has said, if you do that, we're going to respond immediately. See? And Russia has staged warships over in the Mediterranean. The United States has got a carrier over in the Mediterranean, and you can see the nations being gathered, and the false gods, starting to fight themselves. And one way or another, we are going to be affected.
Now, what do you think about all the vortexes in that area?
I don't know enough to know about, or I don't know if I know what you mean by
that. Okay, say the Pyramid of Giza, right? That's right on a vortex line.
Would you call that a ley line?
Definitely in the whole center of the Earth.
Would you call that a ley line?
It could be considered a ley line in, I want to say, Chinese Feng Shui. Feng Shui, I think it is.
Feng Shui.
Because they do a lot of energy work with grids and ley lines. If I'm not mistaken. Feng Shui, F-E-N-G S.
Yeah, F-E-N-G-S-H-U-I, Feng Shui. Yeah, here, let's look at that real quick. First of all, let me read what Gaia says. She says, that's because most Hebrew Israelites subscribe to scientific racism and not monogenesis. Black nationalism is a big problem within the Hebrew Israelite movement. Yeah, that's the truth. You telling, yeah, that is the truth, man. That, I made a video called Nationalism Will Kill You. Will kill you, and to go along with what you say here, Gaia, in the second resurrection, I mean, we just got finished reading where it talked about unity, it talked about community, and so nobody is above anybody else. It's very dangerous vibration, I think, because the second resurrection is a community of brethren who are working to bring about the kingdom of the Creator on the earth. And so I'm really sensitive to, and I know being a man, it is endemic for men to, I remember when I was a part of a church, something comes to my mind. I was a part of a church, a cult, that same cult I was talking about. And what that pastor did, he got a group of guys. He picked out guys in the whole congregation that he wanted to be like a part of David's mighty men, he called them. And I thought at first, man, this is great, And then I realized towards the time I got out of it that he was using it to glorify himself by separating. He wanted these guys to be a part of his like special little whatever. And it made me it really offended me when I found out. And so I'm really sensitive, man, to when people get together and then somebody wants to make a little niche for themselves. And it really vexation for me. I don't like it. But, that's just me, man, fortunately. And so let me look at this real quick. Feng Shui. Feng Shui. What is Feng Shui? Feng Shui means water. Feng Shui meaning can be broken down into Chinese words. It mean wind, and Shui meaning water. So what about this? What about this, Dave?
Yeah, they have, like I say, ley lines and things in there. to put things back into balance and harmonize the environment. It's kind of like a vortex. That's the way I see it.
I see. I see. So let me see. You said there's like a lot of vortexes in the Middle East. Did you say?
Yeah, there was a video I watched. Was it yesterday or day before or something like that? It was a medium. I don't remember exactly everything, but there was one part this medium said about where the Temple of Solomon is built, and then the Dome of the Rock on top of it. There's a vortex there.
Hey, Dave, I did a video on the Earthbound, I think vortex or something like that I read in the OAHSPE, and
Yeah.
it seemed to also say that within each of us is a vortex.
Oh
And
yeah.
it has to do, yeah, it has to do with our thoughts. And it's like once you get the ball rolling and you keep it going, those upward bound thoughts are described as vortexes that we create.
Yeah.
And that delivers us from the downward pull of the earthbound vortex. I mean, I could be saying it wrong, but so
I can definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
because each and every one of us have our own special vortex. It's called an aura.
Yes, I believe that. I do believe that. But you're saying these vortexes over here in the Middle East are different somehow?
Yeah. The medium that was presenting this information says that they're the forces of the good forces, like Creator, is fighting against the children of darkness. The Uzians, or spirits, or dudes, or whatever you want to call them, over these vortexes, and that's why all this is going on in the Middle East, to see who's going to be controlling that area. And that's why all the hubbub is about, over there. Because these children of darkness, their revelation is that Christ is coming back with a sword and going to kill everybody and establish a new Jerusalem, where the old Jerusalem, or something like that. It doesn't make sense to me. And Creator says, it ain't happening that way. We're going to keep going on until I decide it's time to dissipate the earth.
Yeah.
Which is probably about, a long time from now.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what I'm what I got from that medium's message. I'm going to see if I can find that, and I'll put it up on your, the way I do.
Okay. Yeah.
If I can find it.
From what I understand, what I was reading from last night, it said that the way there's, like I read earlier where it said that the foundation, we're already witnessing the foundation of the kingdom of God coming on the earth. And the way I read is that it's going to happen. Well, let me see, just like what I put in the room, some sort of change in our energy, in our spirit, and our way of witness, and that will grow and grow, meaning people will see us differently. We're going to talk. We're going to have a higher vibration. The world will see it, and that will win the world over to the kingdom of Jehovah on earth. It's going to be through us. Something is going to happen to us. The Creator is going to use faithists to show the world the only kingdom that can work. And the world is going to be allowed to make a choice, free will choice, as to what kingdom they want to live under, either false gods or they want to live in the kingdom of God, in Jehovah's kingdom. And I think that when it will be.
I want to say that's basically what was in one of those videos I posted. What was that guy's name? Vinny Tolman, I think it was. And said that basically the world's people are going to separate from creators people, and creators people are going to go and do their own thing, and the ones that didn't, go creators way are going to die out or kill themselves off.
Right.
If I remember, that's what he said.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
That's the way I see it. I mean, when I read OAHSPE, it seems like that's the plan of the Creator.
Yeah.
It's like he lets you have your free will, man. He lets you have it. He just takes his people. Matter of fact, I posted something in the room a long time ago where that's basically what he said. He said, those that have, I ain't going to try to find it. It'll take too long. I know you know it already, where he says, those that have the spirit to sing, let them sing.
Yeah.
Those the spirit, you know what I'm saying? Get ready to say? Yeah. He says, those that have the spirit for this, let them do that. He said, those that have the spirit for this, let them do that. He said, but those that had the spirit to worship me, he says, I'm going to gather them. I'm going to gather them. So, no, so I think, man, even though all this is happening, I think it's a beautiful thing that we could, even though there's a lot of trouble going on, the one thing I love is the beauty of what's coming, man. I mean, the joy of knowing what's coming. Because it seems like everywhere you turn, somebody wants to make you fearful, want to make you afraid. And I'm just one of those. I'm sick and tired of that, man.
That's basically what the media does. Like I say, no news is good news from that media. These days.
Yeah.
There's nothing whatsoever positive, so I don't. I pay very, very little attention to the things that are happening around the world.
Right.
Well, I might look at it, but it kind of like flows off like water on a duck's back,
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man. I like to learn how close we are to the end of the current kingdom of men. That's what I get out of it.
Well, at the time that the pyramid was created, right, that's the midway point. Right there. And then you can project further on to the time of Cosmon from that point where Osiris had that pyramid built. And then projecting on to where it's a midway point. So it'd be like the sun right in the center of, like high noon. Right?
I read that the Cosmic era, it represented a midpoint. The beginning of the Cosmic era.
No, because the Cosmic era came, there was, I think, I want to say 2 or maybe 3 Dan's.
No, I can show you. Hold on a second. It said that what I read said that the Cosmic era would represent a midpoint, and I think it was talking about from the time it began, or no, from the time of shoot. Hold on a second. Let me find it. See if I can find it. It said it represents a midpoint from the time of I can't think of it. It represents a midpoint from the time of I forget what the starting point is, but it represents a midpoint of something. Talking about the 1848 cosmic beginning of this. But now you said something that made me think. You said there's more than there is more than one cosmic era. Is that what you said?
No, I said the midpoint or High Dan was when the pyramid was built by Osiris, and he was under an OAHSPE. That's the midpoint. That's like high noon. And there's going to be times after that. And that was, I want to say, 3, 6.
Wait a minute.
Either 6 or 8,000 years before the time of Cosmon. Because I think Anahassaj was in the time of Bon.
I mean, are you saying that? Oh shoot! I mean, what from you saying that the pyramids represented a midpoint, right?
Yeah.
A midpoint of what?
The midpoint of the Earth's existence.
Okay, hold on a second.
See if you can go to your OAHSPE and type in. See, what was it? How would I say that?
Because the midpoint that we're in now are I know the cosmic era. Hold on, let me try one more thing. I tell you what. Let me see. What are you gonna have? What are you gonna have me go for? Let me go to your reference first.
Midpoint of Earth existence. I'm not sure if you can get all that in there, but midpoint should bring up several references, and you might have to, go through each one singly. So just type in midpoint.
Yeah, I just did. I already did that.
And in the search thing.
Can you see it in the screen?
Yeah, I can see OAHSPE on the screen, but I don't see the search.
Okay, I already got it. I already did it. I didn't see anything. And I forget where I read it, but it said the OAHSPE represented the midpoint of I have to oh man, let me
see if I can
there are only 2 seasons left. I mean, there's autumn and then there's winter.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if
I would say we're in I want to say somewhere turning into late summer.
Yeah, see, I was just going to say that. It's got to be talking about the midpoint of summer. It's got to be. This has got to be talking about the midpoint of summer. What you're talking about. Because if we go back to the creation, and then the cosmic era is the midpoint, then when we extrapolate that forward, it should bring us to around 2049 because that's the harvest.
Yeah, that's one of the harvests, but there are 7 harvests.
But that's the upcoming harvest.
Yeah, that'd be Dan Ha.
Well, we're in Dan Ha now, right?
Well, we were in 1848.
Yeah, and it
That
goes
was
for okay.
getting hot.
It goes for like hundreds of years.
It goes to thousands. Each one is 3,000 years.
So
So I'm saying 3, 6,
so so
9,
so it came.
12.
We're the midpoint of the first one. Then that would mean like two more, or let me see, three. Let me see. Let me see. If we're in the midpoint and the pyramids were built 3,000 years ago, right? Am I right? Then
Yeah, I believe so.
then
Let
that
me
would,
see if I can find out what I'm looking for. I can give you the reference in
I can't, I
OAHSPE.
can't, I'm trying to put a formula together in my head, and I can't come up with the beginning point, which will give me, I mean, the beginning point, if it's the building of the pyramids and the midpoint is Cosmin, then 3,000 or so years ahead of time would represent a sort of an end of an era, because there's I think a 3,000 year time of barrenness, and then a three. No, I don't know. I shoot, man. My brain. I don't. I can't digest it right now. I know I recall reading that the Cosmic era, the present era, is the midpoint of something. I don't know exactly what. I don't know
Now
what the
I'm
parameters.
skipping down through there and looking for it myself.
Looking for midpoint in the OAHSPE.
Actually, I got middle going on.
Okay, I got midpoint.
And it should I typed in midpoint, nothing came up, but middle came up, so I'm going with that one.
I'm looking at mid.
And it should be either middle or mid.
Yeah. But mid, it comes up in a lot of words that contain mid.
Yeah.
So, but I know I read where it said that Cosmic era represents a midpoint, and I'm thinking that it means a midpoint of the time of creation to the end of the time of man's time on earth. That's how I understood it when I read it. That Cosmic era represents a time from the beginning of creation till the end of man's time on earth. So if man has been, now I know that his total time is 72,000 years on the earth, isn't it? You remember that part? His time on
Yeah.
earth is like 72,000 years. So we can do it ourselves. So if we
Yeah.
go from, if Cosmic is the midpoint, then that means we're like in the year of, let me see, you get 72,000, you get 20, you get 36,000, 3,000, or 36,000. 36, let me see.
Okay, got it.
Oh, you got it? Where is it?
Yeah. Book of Leica,
Like,
Son of Jehovah.
okay,
Known as in the heaven as the dawn of Bon. And that first one, it says the middle. It's in italics. Known in, and I'll just read from it.
okay, now
Known
hold on
in
a second.
heaven as the dawn of Bon.
let me bring it up on the screen. Let me bring it up on the screen so I can see it. Hold on 1 second.
Well, let me get back to the chat.
Okay. Can you read it? And
Yeah.
while you're okay, hold on 1 second.
I can read it from mine.
Yeah, I want to read along with you. Or
Okay.
I want to read it too. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second.
It's right in after the Book of Wars Against Jehovah.
Okay.
Starts with the Book of Lika or Leica.
Okay.
It's all in italics.
Oh, okay, it's Book of Lika.
Yeah. Let me where
I got it. I'm
where's
just
Matt?
now what chapter you in?
The first chapter, Book of Lika.
Third chapter?
First.
Okay, first chapter.
Yeah. Right after the right after the end of the Book of Wars Against Jehovah.
No, I'm there already. I'm just doing a little dance on my screen so I can bring it to so I can show it.
I got my OAHSPE tab open, so I'm flipping between the two. I can't have both screens on at the same time.
I see. So turn yours. Hold on, give me a second. Turn yours off and read it, and then I'm going to
There
put
you go.
it up.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it right there.
Okay.
I can probably blow it up a little bit so you can read it.
Okay.
Yeah, this one right here is where it starts. Known in the heaven. That's in your italics right there. This is what I was talking about, being midpoint.
Okay. Known in heaven as the dawn of bond, and on earth as the cycle of Moses, Capelia, and Chine. Joby said, I gave to the earth a time of earthhood, and so that the generations of men might know the period. Behold, I caused man to build a pyramid in the middle of the world, for it was my mark that from that time forward, man would turn from stone temples and hope of everlasting flesh life to rejoice in spiritual abodes in my ethereal heavens. And I brought the earth out of darkness and encompassed it with the dawn of bond. Okay. So what am I looking at here? The pyramids in the beginning of creation.
That pyramid being the midpoint from that time, from the time of the pyramids forward, is going to be your time of Cosmon.
So
you see, because you got, I think you got the Dawn of Bon, then you got the Ark of Speda, and then there's another one, I think, before the Ark of Cosmon.
The Ark of Speda, that means something. That comes to my memory now because the midpoint of Cosmon is mentioned where I read, where it also mentions the Ark of Speda. So the pyramid, all right, so the pyramid was built in the middle of the world but you can also translate that to mean that it was built in the beginning of the creation of man. Does that sound right?
It's
The
a
whole
it's a
man.
it's the ending cycle of man trying to
Time forward,
be
somewhere.
physically resurrected in temples and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, get down just a little bit. Yeah, my mark from the would turn from stone temples in hope of everlasting flesh life to rejoice in spiritual abodes of my ethereal heavens. And I brought the earth out of darkness and encompassed
So
dawn upon.
Yeah, so the end of the inhabitable earth.
Yeah.
Sounds like the temple represents a midpoint of the habitable earth.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking, if I'm not, mistaken.
Man, that's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. I never read the italic portion of this right here, the Book of Micah. That's very
And
interesting, man.
the thing about OAHSPE is you can read it every year, and you're going to find something new that you didn't see before.
Yeah, yeah, I certainly can see that. I certainly see that. So, Cosmin error. It sounds like it's only. I don't know. You said it was more than one Cosmin era, right?
No, the Cosmon era began in 1848.
Yeah, yeah. I understand that, but it goes on. Man's time on Earth goes on for like 72,000 years, right? From the time it began. So the midpoint is going to be the midpoint of 72,000 divided by 2. And that would be 33.5. That would be like 35.5 thousand years left for the habitable earth. And it sounds like
that sounds about right.
Yeah. And so it sounds like it's saying that that's how long the kingdom of Jehovah is going to be on the earth. I think that that Jehovah is going to let man experience the kingdom of God on the earth for that long, and then bring it into barrenness, and then bring it into disillusion, and then start the whole process again.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the way I take it.
Yeah, me too.
Like I say, I'm nowhere near as good as timelines as Brother Silas Shalom or Brother Cosmon Cal. They got them timeline things right down to the year.
Yeah. I'm gonna get there. I just haven't gotten there yet. It's hard to, man, you want to know everything with this, it's interesting the way I want to have everything at once. I want to learn it all at once, man. But I know I'm gonna get to that, to the timeline. I mean, Selah, he done pretty much made it easy to understand. But that's one reason why I like to watch. I love to watch the world, because we are witnessing the transition from the time of the governments I was talking about in the other videos. We're actually witnessing the end of the time of the governments of men and the beginning of the government of the Creator. And that's the type of thing that it gives me faith. It helps my faith to grow so that I can try to take advantage of what's going on right now when I can see how the Creator is moving on the earth. And it helps to take me away from the vibration, the earthbound vibration, the dainties of the earth, the interest of the earth. Because,
I'm checking out the chat. Did you see brother Elijah Seven's comment on that 4 horsemen we was talking about?
Oh, he says 4 horsemen, as in they be killing the false gods' doctrines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I think that we're all doing that,
Yeah.
And in the sense we're all 4 horsemen. In the sense that we're being a light, each of us, I'm sure, is being used to expose the darkness, the bondage that we have been under. But it's just a personal thing with me. I probably would have been better off not even sharing it. But I'm sensitive when brethren, they separate themselves one way or another, because people start looking up to you, and it's like a form of stealing glory to me from Jehovah. And I'm sure they don't mean to. I'm just saying that I'm very leery, man. Coming out of the Hebrew Israelites, coming out of religion, I'm very leery. It's taught me to be very leery of pride in man, pointing to himself, man making himself look good. I'm very leery of that, man. And
well, most, I'm not going to say all of them, because I don't know if they all came out of the Hebrew Israelite doctrine or Christian doctrine, or whatever doctrine they was studying. But personally, myself, I was always a spiritualist, and I just kept reading through stuff till I found out what I was, some stuff that resonated, I still keep, even if it kind of goes against what OAHSPE says. I just put it in a little box with a question mark, because I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way of putting it. Like, I stopped calling brethren like Cain, and it was a big thing. And I think that I got from when I was a Hebrew Israelite, and we call each other, like, we greet each other by saying, greetings, Cain. And just recently, I decided I'm gonna stop doing it. Not like is anything wrong with it, really, because brethren do become kings. They have the ability to ascend to it, but I don't like the prideful vibration it carries with. I'm making some changes, man, just like with the food ministry and reading what I read in Judgment chapter 8 about.
Well, I definitely agree with you, brother. It could be extremely dangerous if the ego starts taking over.
Mm-hmm.
You see, if they start thinking themselves as God and you not God, because we're all gods, or going to be eventually.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
you see where I'm coming from there.
Yeah,
but we got a long ways to go before we get to that, because there's a whole lot of learning going on before that.
Yeah,
in both the first and second resurrection, before we even become brides and bridegrooms of Creator, and then go off to Etheria.
Yeah, I want to prepare myself. I think that we're here, we're in the flesh. And I read where spirits that have passed on, they want the opportunity to come back to the flesh. Now, whether for right or wrong, that's the question. But I remember you telling me about that when you had that out of body experience, when you did the astral travel. And
Yeah.
that guy, he wanted to come back because he realized that it was only through his incarnation in the body that he was going to be able to accomplish something that he had not accomplished. So I remember that. And I also recall seeing where Jesus Christ, he said that that life was an opportunity. Life is an opportunity for us to do things. I read in the OAHSPE where it said that our life is an opportunity to elevate way faster than if we had not chosen to come here. I read that the spirits that are here now, we chose to come here and be on the earth. That's a bit of a mystery to me. I believe it, but that's a hell of a mystery, man. But I heard that the benefit was that we elevate a hell of a lot faster than our brethren who elect not to come down here.
Yeah, the more I'm studying a little bit of that law of one that talks about reincarnation, and with the OAHSPE it says there is no reincarnation.
Yeah, I picked up on that too.
So I'm thinking that maybe they're doing the reincarnation as a misnomer and just simply meaning incarnation.
Incarnation. Right.
I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it. That way I can equate with both documents. So that little question mark is answered.
Yeah.
Through Creator.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, at least for me.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree with you. I can harmonize. I think there's sometimes, you have to, for me, you have to, how do I say it? Allow for word errors, I would say. And the important thing for me is to be able to see the big picture, the vibration of where these books are going, what they're saying. That's how I try to save myself, by harmonizing. I try to allow a wide latitude to be able to harmonize esoteric type language.
Yeah.
I try to give it a real wide latitude. And
yeah, you're right. You're basically feeling the vibration.
Yeah, that's
and seeing whether or not it resonates with you.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. And I like the law of one. I like it. I'm going to start sharing from that day. When I feel it's good, because I don't want to hurt nobody, man. One thing the OAHSPE is teaching me is, man, I'm telling you, man, it's hurting me, but it's teaching me. Can honestly. Yeah, go ahead.
It's kind of like my old mentor, Tuesday Lobsang Rampa, said in one of his books: "Make haste slowly."
I like that. I like that, man. See, yeah, learning about charity, man, and oh wow, man, just what the Creator says about that. My good, and it makes so much sense, man. And plus, empirically, as you live and you see, how it's happened to you, where people, they will show you that they don't mind getting over. They don't mind it. And Creator says that's why you got to use discernment, because you're only causing people's downfall when in your charity you're not discerning. And he says he wants you to size up a brother, whether or not they can work for it, against those who are orphans and the helpless. And he says, give to them. Or in any case, give to a situation where it doesn't perpetuate itself. And I never knew that before, man. And I just started thinking of all the times where, it got me thinking about the time. I mean, I was in a lot of ignorance, a lot of times you share and you get this vibration on you that this is a brother that wants to go and use it to give what you use, what you gave him to go get high or buy some drugs. And
yeah.
You kind of get that vibration when you're trying to do good. And Creator's saying, don't be stupid like that.
Well,
I mean,
to tell you the truth, we've all been a little ignorant in that regard, myself included. Now, I'm not excluding myself,
right?
But after reading OAHSPE and checking out that discernment clause in who you're giving money to, I mean, you got to check them out. Man, here's one case. When I was on the res, a fella come up to me and said, "Can you spare a couple of dollars because I'm hungry?" Right now, it didn't quite set right. All right, I said, "I'll tell you what. Let's go into McDonald's here and we'll get you something to eat." You know what he said?
No thanks.
Exactly what he said. No, thank you. I'll just go on my way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I've had others, come up and say, "Hey, man, I'm hanging." Right. I definitely could use a couple of dollars, and if you got some to spare. At least I got respect for them because he tell me like it is. But then I got to turn him down because I don't drink and I'm not going to enable him.
Right.
So I at least I was, compassionate in that respect, saying, "I'm sorry, brother, I just can't help you out like that because I don't want to enable your addiction."
Right.
And at least he respected my judgment or discernment on that.
Yeah,
you see.
But
like I say, at least he was honest enough to say what he was going to do with that money.
Right.
As opposed to the other guy saying, "Well, I'm hungry."
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
So you've really got to watch yourself because, like you say, if they find out you're a faithist, it's kind of like you got sucker stamped on your forehead.
Yeah.
And they will definitely try to take advantage of it.
Yeah. I tell you, man.
You've got to be very discerning.
I tell you, wow, man. To me, that's one of the reasons why America is in so much trouble, man. So much trouble because, and a lot of it, you have to lay it at the feet of Christianity as I think about it. Because here the Creator is saying, this is the type of charity I want you to do. I want you to mark the orphans and those who are helpless. Okay, now charity for them is just fine. But if it's an able-bodied person, and even if they're not as able-bodied as really, if they're a little sick but they're still, they're able to work, the Creator, it's like he says, see to it that you tell them, you show them, or you prod them to work, to do something where they can perpetuate sustaining themselves. I mean, he really places an emphasis on that, man. And Christianity teaches the opposite, like give just if they ask, give, this willy-nilly, and the Creator is saying, no, you shouldn't be doing that because it just perpetuates the situation. And it's like there's some videos you can go on the internet and you can see, like on YouTube, and you can see there's like videos of like Indonesians and Vietnamese, those types of people, Asiatic people, and they build whole structures by themselves using that bamboo. I seen one video where this girl, she built the damn uh a wind something that it dips down into the water, it goes up, it drops it down onto this generator, and it powers her house.
Yeah.
Which she built. Builds she built a pool for the purpose of grinding corn or something. She did it with the power of. They do a lot of things with the power of like they generate free energy by using like the force of water. They do it by streams. Generate their own electricity.
There was a video I seen. I'm not sure what part of Africa, because Africa is, you got a
I
lot
know
of
where you're
states.
going. Yeah.
And this fella, I think he built a pyramid, a windmill or something with the air. Because like it was windy where he lived, and he powered his house with that, and dadgum near dug a well with it and everything else.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm embarrassed. I'm truly embarrassed, man, for me as a man looking at people who have far less than what we have and doing far more than 10 men. I mean, just a girl, man.
Oh yeah.
She built. She cleared her. She just. It's like she went into the woods, man. She cleared it out. She marked out a field for crops. She built like a windmill to power a generator, which powered her with electricity. And she sold the crops, and she was self-sustaining. And that was some hard work she did, man. Cutting that bamboo, stringing it together, making a house with cutting the wood. And here we are. Oh my goodness, man.
Now, to me, that little girl, she's definitely a faithist and creator.
Yeah. It's embarrassing, man.
And I think more and more people are going to go that way. And I think maybe that's where our communities are going to start coming from.
Yeah, I like that. I
mean, it's just a thought. Yeah. Maybe right, maybe wrong.
Yeah.
But I can see it going that direction.
Me too. Yeah.
For the physical kingdom on earth.
Yeah. Me too, man. And you know what? When you work with the land like that, man, I mean, I felt good just watching them do that stuff. You just working with the land like that and being self-sufficient like that. To me, I think that's what a man really he is. He should be being able to just sustain himself and not live in destruction of the land. I don't know, but I see that too. I see the kingdom. I certainly don't see the need for the destruction of the earth. I just don't think. I just don't see. It's just embarrassing to see what these people.
We might have a few wars and rumors of wars, but I don't think anything is going to be going nuclear.
Well, I think that
reason I don't see that is because if that conflagration started. It's a no-win situation for either side, and they know it.
Mm.
You know, Russia knows it, China knows it, we know it.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
I seem to see it differently. That because I look at, I always talk about zodiac signs. I
yeah,
believe that the Creator has given me. For some reason, I just can see it. I talk about it, and I've always been able to resonate with it. And so I look at things kind of differently than your normal person when I look at what's going on today. And I see I look at the leaders of nations, their zodiac signs, to see what their proclivities are and where they might take us. And so I look at Israel, the leader of that nation is a Scorpio. His wife is a Scorpio. His top lieutenants, at least the one right behind him, is a Scorpio. And their vibration is, it seems like they've been created to afflict people with pain, to show them a part of a spiritual purpose of, which I don't know fully, but it seems like they've been tasked with that vibration. And so when I look at what's going on today over there, Iran just recently paid Israel back for killing some of their people by bombing them, but they didn't kill anybody in their bombing. But Israel, again, led by these men, the prime minister is a Scorpio, and their thing is always payback, gotta pay back, revenge, killing. That's their
yeah,
thing. And so the world has been trying to call this guy and say, man, look, okay, they only paid you back for what you did. They didn't even kill anybody. They just bombed you a little. Now call it even and let it go, man, before you
yeah,
end up it's all down, Just call it even, man. They didn't kill anybody. They bombed you a little. And this guy, it got to the point where he stopped taking phone calls because they were too many. These are world leaders that were
yeah,
trying to tell him, hey, man, will you please just let it go? And he stopped taking calls because that vibration he's under, he wants to pay him back. He always wants to get the last word. And so I can already tell you, even before it happens, that I hate to, well, let me just say it straight. I think that he is going to use nuclear weapons. I think he's going to do it because he's in a corner. He's got that evil vibration. I mean, I'm talking about Scorpios that are on their lower vibration, not
yeah, yeah,
Scorpios on their higher
yeah,
vibration. I love, anybody really on their higher vibration, but his mind is, I'm going to pay you back. You did this. They always, the ones that are working on their lower vibration, their mindset is, I'm going to get you back. I'm going to pay you back. And it's just going to keep on. And Iran has said, if you strike us, then I'm going to pay you back 10 times more than what I already have. So now here we are, we're sitting. And by the time I close the video, Israel could have lit off already. And I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned, but I love to try to know which way the creator, what he is. And look who we got in the room, man. Hey, Dave, look at the chat.
let's see. Me,
You see who's in the chat? Look who's in the chat.
oh, yeah, Brother Malachi. Okay. Hey, hit that link there, Brother Malachi. Come on.
I don't think he
Come on
sees.
in.
Hold on. Let me put the link in the, he might just be hitting and running. He might just be hitting and running, which is cool, but I appreciate the brother. Let's see if he'll come in. All right, but yeah, I think that his vibration, the leader, prime minister of Israel, he's going to bring the whole world into nuclear war. I don't think it's not going to be the end of the world like you were saying, but his vibration, he's going to drag a lot. He's going to make things a lot worse for the world, for the whole world. So I think that's what we got to look forward to. And
Well,
it could be the creator. He could. I like what you said. I like that part, man, about, because I do read where we're going to be a community of people. You remember that?
oh yeah.
So you hear people nowadays talk about prepping and getting prepared and being ready to live out in the woods and this and that. And I think that that could be the same situation for Faithus. I don't know. We soon to find out. But
Yeah, definitely. It definitely could be.
Mm-hmm.
What I was going to say, I want to say back in the 60s, 70s,
Mm-hmm.
there were a lot of UFOs going around like Redstone Arsenal and places in China and Russia, disabling the ICBMs,
Mm-hmm.
UFOs that were doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And this recently came out on one of them, what they call it. They don't call them UFOs anymore. They call them UAPs or something like that.
IFOs.
No, UAPs, I think.
No, I think it's identifiable flying objects.
No, UFOs is unidentified flying objects. The
No,
UAPs are
IFOs
unidentified aerial phenomena. UAP. It's same thing as a UFO, but they just put their own initials on it. It means the same thing.
Right.
Just the government,
Yeah.
And they had several people come up from the old Project Blue Book and whatever they was, some kind of Senate hearing or something on that, and that's where a lot of that came out of that.
Hey Dave, let me share something with you real quick. I want to see if you remember this. You remember that operation called Operation? Oh man, there was an operation done where there was some type of technology that was created, some computer, and they fed it a bunch of information, and the computer had some really strong algorithm skills. Okay, now this was back in like 2002. I can't remember the name of that operation. I probably will. It was called Operation. Let me see. I can't remember, but it had to do with a computer. It was fed a bunch of information about what may happen in the future. And don't you know that the information that came out of it, it predicted what did it say? It said something. Hold on a second. Let me try to find it on the internet. Let me see if I can find it. I want you to see this. What was the name of the computer that predicted the end of the world? No. Okay, this is, let me see. This might be it right here. Let's see. I would know the name of it if I heard it because it was a bunch of scientists that they were so afraid of what that computer was telling them that they actually shut down the experiment. But it meant, but it said that they saw something by 2025. Now I'm looking at it. This is not. I don't recall this language.
No, this is that's a more modern one.
Yeah. Look at this. Oh, let's talk about Nostradamus. Okay, I'm not going to be able to find it, but shoot, man, it was.
I know the one you're talking about, but I just can't think of it right now.
Yeah, same here. I can't remember that, man. It was like that thing was so scary, and I think because it had made some predictions that as of yet was very, very accurate. Now, I don't know what the situation was at that time, but I just thought it was interesting.
I'm thinking it was back in '73 because I was in the Army and I heard about that.
No, this was called Operation something, man. You know, it was called Operation something, and these guys that built this damn thing, they fed it information, and they asked it to make some type of conclusion. And that computer said something about mankind, and I think it even mentioned something like a change in the affairs of men, like a paradigm shift. And it mentioned like 2025, if I can recall correctly. But I just think it's interesting. I was just saying, that I think it's interesting that now we're facing all this stuff.
I'm trying to think back on what the name of that thing was because I heard it.
Operation. It was Operation. What was it? Operation.
They also had an acronym for that computer too.
Man, I can't remember it. It's called Operation. It wasn't Mockingbird because I remember what that was. It was Operation something. Operation. I can't remember it, man. But I don't know. I just think it's interesting the way.
Yeah.
I
know what you're talking about, but I just can't put words to it.
Yeah, it wasn't 73 though. I don't think it was 73. I don't think it was. It ain't worth talking about anyway. All right, brother, give me the peace sign, man.
Just before I leave, I wanted to touch on that Fatima prophecy thing.
Okay, you want me to bring it up?
No, you don't have to. The reason I got questions about whether or not that was from Creator is because what happened, it was raining, right? And on this last vision, she said a vision was going to be given, and it looked like the sun was going to come, right into the earth. The clouds parted, the sun was normal, and then it just kept growing and growing, and so a bunch of them people there fell down on their faces, and a bunch of them just ran all over the place. And the only thing that I can know that can do something that would be a starship, such as affidavit, like one of the big Avalanza, like.
Oh yeah.
That's the only thing. And the girl Lucy or Lucia, she never said it was the Virgin Mary. She just called her the Lady. Right? She never said it was the Virgin Mary. Now, afterwards, of course, the Roman Catholic Church got involved in it, and they, I think, put her in a one of them nunnery things, But I'm thinking they put her in there to keep her quiet, instead of, or to switch her around to their line of thinking. And I'm thinking it's the Jesuits that did that. Or Jesuits, or whatever they call themselves. That black Pope guy. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Because I think her two cousins with her, I think they both died mysteriously or something like that. I know they both died. She was the only one left.
Well, wait, whoa. Okay, you said, see, I never studied that. You said it was the Fatima.
Yeah.
The miracle of Fatima, right?
Yeah. I believe it was October 13th, 1917.
Hey, bro.
You can Google it.
Bro. Good night, Chuck. Hope your shoulder is still feeling good, man. Good to see you, bro. God bless you, brother. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I think it was October 13th, 1917.
Now,
Fatima,
she
Portugal.
Said the prophecy was that she was somewhat the water.
No, that's Lourdes.
Oh, Lourdes. Okay. What if
that's in France?
She got
this one was a miracle of the sun or something like that. Fatima, Portugal.
Some type of visitation, right? She got some type of visitation, right?
Yeah. She would go to this special place and kind of like meditate, and this lady would come and talk to her and tell her, what's going to be happening in the future.
And her prophecies came true?
Like I say, them Catholics grabbed the hold of her and put her in a nunnery.
So evidently, she was anointed.
You're not going to get anything out of them except their version.
Right. Well, if they snatched her up, then it must have been a good reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like,
I think in 1917, the Portugal people just got rid of their king and was tending towards becoming communist, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't remember what king it was, but it was the last king of Portugal anyway. Mm-hmm. I just thought that was interesting, and where the sun looked like it was coming down, going to collide with the earth, and scared everybody, scared the bejeebers out of everybody. you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that anything happened like that anywhere else around the world, or else it would have been a worldwide phenomenon. And so that's why I'm thinking that a ship from the Etherean realm brightened itself up real bright like the sun and came real close to the earth, within like 40, 50 miles. That'd be real big then, and that photosphere around it would look like a sun, to people on Earth.
But man,
and that's why I had to put that in a little box with a question mark still there.
Right. So they saw a big light, and it looked like the sun was coming down.
It looked like the sun was coming into the earth and going to crash into it.
And she predicted something like that was supposed to happen.
She said a sign would be given, and that was the sign. And the thing is, it was raining. It was during a downpour, right? and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden the rain stopped, the clouds parted, the sun come out, and that's
Hmm.
what happened. So that's
So
telling me that the Creator got them angels putting them clouds away, stopping the rain, the sun come out. Looks like in concert with what OAHSPE would use for a miracle.
so OAHSPE, yeah, those ships, but it seems like so it was a big light, and it came within so many miles of the earth.
Yeah,
That was Fatima, miracle of Fatima.
yeah.
Okay, I mean, because it makes me think how the Creator. I mean, what we read in OAHSPE, it specifically mentioned Lordy. It specifically mentioned Lordies as being fake, but it said that the
Well, like I say, what gets me is that Lucia never said it was the Virgin Mary,
mhm,
right? She termed that person she was talking to as the lady,
mhm.
you see.
Now, how did it benefit people? Because the OASPE was basically saying that that signs like what happened at Lordy's, if it doesn't serve man somehow to elevating or making better, then it's not of Jehovah. And
Yeah.
so I'm just saying, how did that sign benefit spiritually people who believed in it? Because unless it has some type of benefit, from what I read, it sounds like Jehovah is saying it's not from him.
Well, like I'm saying, it's in 1917, right? And
You know
what
what?
happened
You know
right
something?
after 1917 was 1918, the First World War.
Uh-huh. Now
You
I think
see?
I could see something. I think I could see something because the Cosmin era, the Creator, he says in the OASPE that he used the Fox sisters.
Yeah,
Remember that? He used
yeah,
them to bring about an increase in people thinking spiritually. He said he used them,
yeah,
the Rochester wrappings,
yeah.
to increase their spirituality. So I guess I can see how different phenomena that the Creator he'll allow so that people will begin to think about things spiritual
Yeah.
instead of things on the earth.
Now,
But it,
I'm not. I'm going to do a whole lot of speculating here, but
uh,
I'm thinking that lady that talked to Lucia or Lucia, however you pronounce the name in Portuguese, uh, was given something a lot similar to the Hopi prophecy.
hmm,
You see,
uh, did she testify of Nibiru?
about what?
Nibiru, this lady.
Not that I know of, but
Uh,
because, like I said, is yeah, not very long after she had that vision,
uh,
them Catholic guys come and grabbed her,
mhm, mhm.
and they put her in a cloistered nunnery, whereas you couldn't get to her.
Wow, man, isn't that something? Isn't that something? Religion.
So
What I was
I'm saying that there's a lot more to that uh, Fatima prophecy
uh,
than meets the eye.
yeah,
And I wouldn't be trusting what the Catholics say about it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Anytime
You
you got
understand what I'm
somebody,
saying?
Anytime you
And
got somebody with
the thing is, not only did they get her, but the authorities in Portugal got all the kids and put them in jail for crime out for criminy sakes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds like the world, man.
Yeah,
That sounds like
the only reason they let them out is the Pope sent one of them cardinals or bishops or somebody right in there to Portugal and got them out. And her two cousins, I forget their names, but it's in there, you know, on the Google report thing or Wikipedia. They got all their names down there, but her two cousins, I believe, died, and she was the only one left, and they put her in that nunnery thing and wouldn't let nobody talk to her.
Yeah.
And she said something about after she passes, they're supposed to release, you know, all those prophecies that she gave. But I don't know whether they're going to do that or not. I wouldn't put it past them to be rewriting it in their own lingo.
Yeah. I'm speculating too. I think that the Creator, what he's going to do with us is release the knowledge of free energy as one of our witnesses.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to release that on the world. Because
now, I believe that if Faith is going to come up with that and make it work, and he's going to be able to put somehow or other, he's going to be able to put that out where common people can build a machine like that.
Yeah, I really do believe that.
I mean, that's I'm right with you on that one, brother.
Yeah.
That resonates with me.
That's going to be one of the first things, because I know the Creator, he said that he built the earth so it could be a joy to men. It was supposed to be a delight, man. It was supposed to be a paradise to men. And I have to believe that that's going to eventually come to pass. That the destruction comes first of man's current reality, and then the kingdom on earth as it was meant to be. And I think that a lot of that is free energy. I think that's probably the first major witness. I don't know, but I do believe that it's coming, and that he's going to use the children to expose it. And it sounds like, well, if you read the Bible, I mean, one of the things in the Bible is that children of men, they stop fighting one another and they fight us.
Yeah.
Something that's the Bible talks about that. And so to hear you talk about what happened to the Fatima story, to me, that sounds just like the false gods, where in an effort to hold on to their reality, they'll do anything they can to suppress the faithists, to suppress the light. I think that's what is, I believe that that's really what's just ahead of us.
Well, like the way I'm getting it is kind of like Creator through his angels and the true God gave Lucia a prophecy, and I think the false gods, that's why they grabbed her and stuck her away in that nunnery or cloistered nunnery where nobody can have access to her or that prophecy. Mm-hmm. So they can have time to look through it and put their lying pens to work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the way I see it. I mean, I may be wrong, but like I say, I don't think those false gods would be running in a ship of light. They'd probably be running a ship of darkness.
Yeah. I like that part in the reading where it says that we're going to be removed from vampires and Druja spirits. You remember
Yeah.
that? Do you
Well,
see that?
there's
Do you see
basically
that?
there's a hedge around us anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that. But do you see that? Well, if you just answered my question. Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I think that now we still are afflicted one way that they have access to us, Druges and vampire spirits. You say you don't believe that?
Yeah, they still have access to us if we let those tetracts start, creeping in and taking control.
How can
You
we
see.
stop them?
Well, we got to really watch ourselves. We got to think before we speak, before we say something. Is it going to help the brother, or is it going to hurt the brother or sister? You know, or am I doing this for Creator, or am I doing this for myself?
Right. Yeah.
You got to question yourself before you even open your mouth.
Yep.
I mean, that's hopefully that's what I do.
Yeah, that's the blueprint, man. That is the blueprint. It seems like everywhere I read, I pick up that the will of the Creator, man, is to be a benefit one way or another to your brother. Be a benefit, like I was reading last night.
Here's another thing. Yeah, Judas can attach to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then if you're into Creator, they're going to be absorbing that too.
Yeah,
You see.
I know. Yeah,
and maybe their guides will come and they will be removed from the host. You see.
Very interesting.
That's happened to me a couple of times, I want to say. But I really don't want to go into detail about that because that'll be another 3, 4, 5 hours, and your video is going to be 6 hours long if you don't watch out.
No, come on, man.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back on out of here, and let me give you that unification sign there that I learned from that Moore sister that Daryl Cosmon was on with the other day. You take care, brother.
Are you getting any closer to putting out your own videos?
No, not at this time. I still got a lot on my plate. Okay, it seems like more's coming up, every day.
All right. Well, if I can help you, make sure I'm the first to know. Okay.
Oh yeah. When I go live, I'll maybe a few days before I go live, I'll either drop you an email or I'll put it up in the on your room.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to remind you to share your tab.
Yeah, you'll be charging me a 3% tax or a 3-cent tax.
Okay, brother.
2 cents here, brother. Only 2 cents. Anyway, that's a good joke. I like that one. I like this. Sister H and F came up with that one. I had to laugh on that one. It's somewhere in the comments. That's good. That's all in good fun.
Yeah. I know, bro. All right, take care, man. I'm gonna close it out. Good to see you.
Okay. Let's see. Where's my little? Oh, there it is. Okay, Dave. You take care, brother. Peace and blessings to you, the chat, and everyone else in Jehovah's name, in Creator's name. Bye bye.
See you later. All right, that's it. that will conclude this video. I'm going to give thanks to my Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for this opportunity and for my brother's shoulder getting better. Well, I give thanks, Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother. Pray that you will count us all worthy to escape the things coming on the earth, that you might gather us, put us in our own communities where we have fellowship with one another. We are our own community according to your will. Cannot thank you enough, Heavenly Father, for giving me the opportunity to be a light while I'm in this reality. So, brethren, thank you for joining me. Until I see you again on video, peace, love, and light. Shalom.